Like,
there's the camera.
Justin,
right there.
like,
No, we're not.
like we
No,
can.
we're not.
The main button.
No, we're not.
Yeah,
What?
we're there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You just did it.
We weren't live. We're not
I
live.
pushed, not now, but we were. Now we are.
No, we-
I'm doing that. I will kill you.
I know what you're talking about. I don't have power.
That's incriminating evidence. You got him. You got him. He's so fucking done, dude.
That's it, boys.
The
The door just kicks
That's
open.
it.
Comes running in here. Hands up.
door opens. Ladies and gentlemen,
We got
him.
they kill everyone but
3
Justin.
years.
They kill all of us but Justin and then take him to jail.
You'll be safe now. Are you okay?
Are we live or not?
Yeah, we're
Of
live.
course we're live.
He was a veteran, so that would make
Right
sense.
there.
Yeah,
Every time you've looked,
Right
it's been live.
Justin, you see the
Don't
little
gaslight him.
Right
Justin, you see the little red dot right there?
Right
No.
there.
Yeah, me neither.
I was confused. Someone else was fucking.
You're like, wait, do they have
Red
dots?
line?
What
They don't have dots.
Oh, it's 'cause
No.
we've never been live, not once.
we've
all
actually
all been turned off.
we've actually never recorded these.
No,
Whoa.
Look at
yeah.
Shutter
Those-
Island.
Those are
cam-
real cameras.
You
That's
thought those were
horrible.
cameras?
My whole world is falling apart.
That's
True.
hilarious.
You know what's funny?
It's when you have a family member, one of those family members that really wants to go live and play the game, but you just know they should not be on camera for any reason.
So here's
So
the
you go,
thing.
you got it, buddy.
So remember when you first joined us, Justin?
Yeah.
The previous DM at the time, who shall not be named, wanted to do that, and you spurred a memory of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
We don't have questions. We don't have answers to those level of questions.
Wanted to do what? I'm lost.
Yeah, and what previous DM?
The previous DM that had the girl's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I remember now. I remember now. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, they wanted to. I remember this. They wanted to say we were live, but not actually be live as like a test or something like
Yeah,
that.
which is not a bad idea in concept,
Yeah, I
but
guess.
like it just you
It's
said
just
it. And I
weird.
went, yeah, that definitely was almost a
Yeah,
thing.
just lie to everybody and then see if they'll trust you for the rest of your 2-year game.
I don't need you guys to trust me. When you sit at this table, you have to trust me by default. It's part of the contract.
That's not true. Anyways, welcome to Mists of Grimguard. We're running a little bit late, and
Never signed a contract.
and we are in a season finale. So, hi everybody. Hope you're doing well. We're gonna jump right into this.
Pause.
What?
A 2-part season finale.
It's a 2-part
That's
season
very
finale.
important.
Just like the good
information.
shows do.
I
God
wasn't
damn
saying that because here's the deal: the people watching are like, "Man, I gotta watch this twice now." They leave. They don't come back. They don't leave.
No,
once
they
first.
don't. They
But-
go, aw shit, we get 2 days? Let's go!
All you gotta do is leave a
That's what real
cliffhanger
homies
for episode 2.
Oh,
That's
I have
it.
one.
Perfect transition.
Real old.
That's what real
And
homies
you all
do.
die. See you next week.
What are we gonna do? Last week.
Andy already did that. Though.
Yeah, at the cliffhanger. That's what you gotta do. You gotta leave them on a cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger, I barely know her.
Yeah, that's what fun is it?
If you didn't have the talisman,
Yeah.
I'd give you inspiration
Yeah.
right now.
I don't have inspiration though.
That's what you have the talisman.
But that's not inspiration,
I
that's
know,
the
but
talisman.
It's good enough.
But I'm
all right, everybody. I'm gonna push this button.
Ah.
Are we back?
We're back.
Oh, shit.
I made a mess.
I had a question
Thanks for joining us.
that you guys never answered when we were
Both?
not back.
What was the
The
question?
question about what I should be doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're
Breathing.
trying not to step in the sunlight, staying far away
Bro,
from
there's
the rest
no
of the party.
sun here.
Oh, which, by the way, I'll point that out in a minute. So, the party
By a minute, he meant now.
The party traveled into the lair of Ingrid von Richten, Blood Knight of Strahd and former spouse of
That old man that took us over.
Rudolf von Richten. In the middle of the fight that transpired, it was discovered that a vampiric ally had joined the cause. And seemingly, von Richten was killed. Brutally cut in half, cast aside. Fighting continued. Eventually victorious, Gabriel runs over to see if maybe he can revivify Unrichten before he's been dead for too long. Only to see Unrichten fine.
He's fine.
Getting up onto his cane, perfectly healthy. At which point he said very cleverly, never go into battle without a death ward. Because he cast a spell right before the fight had started.
There's another thing I'd like to do.
Okay.
I'll text you. It's fine.
Nope, I'm not going to read it. You'll have to just tell me in a minute.
All right.
After the party defeated Ingrid, an apology was made to Van Richten for killing his wife. He said that wasn't my wife, and was perfectly fine with everything that had transpired. Looting the cave, we found some treasure, a very powerful magic sword that once Ivan took it into his possession and attuned himself to it, became a mace. A heavy black one that seemed to kind of draw the light in around it.
Right up my alley.
Mm-hmm. That's where you put it.
I
Whoa!
can access that.
I don't care as long as it kills Strahd.
I just had a thought.
I'm committed to the cause.
Okay.
Continue.
After that, the party made their way out of this lair and headed back towards the Amber Temple to rest and recuperate. Once arriving, it was revealed, though you'd already known there was some sort of ward, that it was revealed that Soren wouldn't have the ability to go into the Amber Temple. Strahd couldn't go in either. So maybe it's just vampires. So the party agreed to release Soren into the wild, so to speak, knowing that he'd come back a day and a half later to begin the march on Ravenloft, where Strahd had invited all of you for your feast. It would be the one time the gates would be open, that's for sure. It was originally planned that you would hunt down the other Blood Knights, but Soren pointed out that one of them wouldn't leave Strahd's side, so it'd be pointless hunting him down. And that he was another one, still resisting Strahd's control. And there's a third one that you'd never met that Ivan knows about, and nobody knew where to find that one. You did the best you could with what you had, made other plans. Marius, you restocked on poisons, potions, etc. Exithanter gave you some advice. He reminded you that as powerful as Strahd is, it's nothing compared to the height of his power in his castle, and that you needed to be wary. He might not even understand just how powerful he is there. He also reminded you that Strahd's arcane capabilities would rival that of Exithanter's at the moment. Soren, you tried to come to grips with what you've become, and ultimately it was decided that you put that off for another day. All that matters is the mission, ending Strahd and saving Grimguard. That was always what you wanted to do, and that's what you're going to try to do. When the hunger got too much, and Deer wasn't cutting it, instead of heading to Vallaki or Barovia, you thought you'd wander into the mists. Maybe it was just time to end everything. The mists used to move away from you, creating a path. This time they did not. You entered into the mists. You felt the caustic air choking your lungs, your throat welling up. You felt your skin burning off of your body. And you thought, though not ideal, at least you wouldn't hurt an innocent soul. And you died. Only to wake up, middle of Barovia, in a clearing, perfectly fine. Still just as hungry as you had when you left. Hours later, you eventually succumb to it, a lone traveler in the woods, some sort of hunter. He had just taken down a deer, and when he saw you, he tried to kill you too. Maybe it was because he thought you were a vampire. Maybe he was a murderer. Doesn't matter, you ended his life quickly. And fed well that night. The next day, you woke up, approached the Amber Temple, and waited outside for the rest of the party. Now, feeling fully in control of your power and your decisions. Bedroke, you traveled alone north to that druid coven. There they welcomed you and said that they knew Strahd could control the weather, but what they weren't sure of is whether or not he'd be able to do that if a coven of druids was also attempting to do the same thing. That surely their power over nature would rival or beat his. They planned to station themselves around the castle and to counter any of his magics used to control Barovia itself. This would also help against any reinforcements that Strahd may receive. Ivan, you took it upon yourself to take the soul of Strahd and head to the Well of Barovia. It's a town you've been to before, but you didn't spend much time there. You walked through what feels like a ghost town, knowing the last time you saw it, and the last time the party had seen it. It was a bustling town. Obviously, they lived in fear. There were claw marks at the doors and window shutters, but the people lived fairly normal lives. It wasn't like that when you arrived. Blood in the streets. Still people scurrying about, but it was a fully oppressed town at this point. There you walked over to the well, looked down into it. Strahd's soul, who you'd ignored the entire trip, said, "Jump. I don't know of another way down." And you did, disappearing into the inky darkness below. Gabriel, you left for Ardenvoss hold. Mounted your horse, rode off, went to the castle, which was once some sort of defensive ward against the creatures of the night. No longer so. The doors open. Inside, you fought a few undead creatures. It was a white leading a small horde of zombies. And eventually, you made your way down to where Ardenvoss had been killed by you, his corrupted soul at least. And you called out for the Knights of Ardenvoss. That's where we're going to pick up tonight's episode. As the entire party, reunited, is traveling, nearing the edge of Vallaki, each of you having dealt with your tasks, whether or not completed. It's been quiet. Nobody's really said a word the entire time. Bedroke explains what happened. Marius hands out potions to each of you. Sword looks rather lively, which leads you to a specific suspicion about what he's done with his time. When Van Ripton turns and looks over at Ivan. Well, I don't know if you were successful or not. Perhaps you should tell us what happened. And as you turn to do so, there we are. You had just fallen through this well. You hit water, submerged completely, very cold. And you continue to sink. your heavy armor. Your lungs feel like they're ready to burst. When finally you're just about to take this inhale that probably means death. But you fall through the water to dry ground. Sopping wet, you look up in this dimly lit cavern and you can see a barrier of water above you, about 20 feet up. The soul of Strahd, its faint blue glow also giving off some light, looks over at you. Well, we're here. Do you have some form of light? This is all I can give off.
Yeah, I'm just gonna light the torch at it.
Okay. Yeah, you pull out a torch. Takes a little bit of effort. You're soaked. Eventually, you manage to get a small enough ember that it ignites the torch. You look around, and there are bodies everywhere. Each of them 30, 40 feet away from where you're standing now. And as the smell of your wet armor, the leather, and the cloth starts to deaden around you, you can smell the stink of these corpses. Hundreds of them. Some of them look like innocent people. Some of them look like warriors. You see a large amount of them bearing the crests of Grimguard. This must have been where Strahd left the dead for each expedition that had been lost. You see one body about 100 feet away, mostly skeletal at this point, leaning against a spear that's been stabbed into the ground. A banner falls empty across it. Looks to be black with some sort of red symbol on it. As you look at that, you turn and you look at this figure, clad in armor, black also with the red symbol. The symbol that of like a fiery bird. But you recognize that. That's the symbol of Ravenloft. Strahd steps forward. This is our army, but I do not know how to command it.
Not much of an army.
The caverns go on for quite a while. Before, this was the dumping ground for Strahd and his blood knights. It was the burial crypt of my soldiers. It was an army, hundreds strong. Even when some of them retired, they were buried here. They swore an oath to me. We just need to find a way to wake them.
Interesting. Any ideas?
Well, all of the arcane power my vampiric version has was learned after.
Just remind me how useful you are now.
I was a baron of Ravenloft. I have respected you. I can only ask that you do the same.
You'd be disappointed.
And maybe this army that would follow my command, not yours, is going to see they're not respected down here, and they won't rise from their graves. I'm not the one who ruined your life, son.
You have to face it.
I sure do.
Makes you the same in my book.
Turns and walks away.
I give him some space and I follow.
As he walks to the edge of the light, he actually vanishes. You see him appear a little further away. But you follow?
Yep.
Deeper in, you see it is, in fact, a catacomb. The walls are a death motif, skulls, but it's not done sinisterly. You see holy symbols. One holy symbol, same that Gabriel wears. As Strahd walks by, you see each casket that he touches, each stone sarcophagus that he touches, a little amount of his ethereal energy, just kind of like a wave enters in. I can feel them. My soldiers, at least. No, I feel the others as well. They're angry at my trespassing. Like you, they can't see the difference. They're confused and hurt. If they could, they would kill me now. But my soldiers, they want revenge. They want to undo what's been done to this valley. They fought and bled for a safe people. I wasn't ever a good man, either, but I was a just ruler. Was I cruel to those who broke the law? Certainly, but only them. So you can decide. What's more important? Killing that monster or making me feel a little lonely down there?
Wise man says I can do both.
Then show me how, because I can't wake them.
You told me you feel them.
Yes.
I'm sleeping. Imagine there's something down here deeper. Probably wake them. If not, I have to take some time to figure out what I can do.
Maybe we can find something deeper, but to my knowledge, it's just an empty wall. What we're looking for might be back the way we came.
Lead the way.
Thinks for a second. Perhaps the banner. It's the only one I've seen down here. But I can't touch anything. And he literally waves his hand towards you and just passes right through it. It's your banner.
Then let's try the banner. And I head back towards the banner, yeah.
So there it is. Undead warrior. Not undead, sorry. Fully dead.
Fully
Skeletal
dead.
warrior.
He did.
Yeah. Clasping it. Unmoving.
I'm gonna try to pull it out from the sphere instead of just the banner.
Okay. Yeah. So you're taking the whole item.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. The skeleton crumbles in front of you as you do so.
I kind of gently use my foot to kind of shove the bones against the wall.
What do you feel? Anything?
Metal. Don't really feel much.
So Strahd walks forward to this. It gets right in front of you. Banner picks up as if it's in the wind. Takes a few steps back and it dies again.
I'm gonna move the banner towards him.
Oh yeah. As if the wind is blowing down here, but it's not.
Directed to you.
Tries to reach forward and grab it. Nothing. I don't know. What do you know of souls and magic?
Not much. Relatively new to this whole practice.
Well, I can only think of one thing, and I know you're going to say that. So let's just leave. He disappears.
Here now, it's a thing.
If a living being was so inclined, a spirit could possess it. You can touch the sphere. I can activate it.
Kiss my ass. That ain't happening.
As I said, there's nothing we can do. He vanishes again. You leave?
Nah, I stay there for the second. just thinking about like my mom, my sisters, the two things that just keep flashing back and forth. Fuck. And I just like spear launch it right into the ground. Strahd,
Yes, Ivan.
if this is an apocalyptic if I were to let you do this, and I guarantee you're not fucking with me.
I don't even know that I would have the power to control you. This is new to me too. But your paladin friend would probably have ways of expelling me from you if he needed to.
Reminder,
Defeat.
I was not good, but I was just. I swore an oath upon this land.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Your words mean jack. I'm here because he has my sister. So letting you use me, the best way to do that and save her. Fine. But I'm gonna warn you, mess with me. We'll find a way.
I don't think there is any torture more than what I've already experienced, but I understand. I accept your threat with open arms.
And I just kind of, I guess unknowingly, just raise my arm out and see if he needed to just grab on or something.
Yeah, he just walks forward, holds his hand out, hesitates. And as you lock eye contact with him, he reaches forward and grabs your wrist. You feel for just a second this icy cold grip, and then he's just gone. Nothing.
Hello? Use this again. And I grab the spear and just head towards the exit.
As soon as you touch the spear, this vision flashes in your head. You see Strahd atop a large destrier horse, an entire army behind him, coming over a mountain into the Valley of Barovia. No castle, at least not as you see it now. 3, 4, 5, 6 villages, verdant farmland, beautiful and green. Next, you see him at the castle. A woman at the gates. She runs forward, gives him a hug. Easily 40, 50 years his senior. Calls her mother. She invites him with his army in. There, you see an argument between him and some generals. He slams his fist on the table. Next, scenes of villages being occupied. Soldiers forcefully pulling people out of the houses, checking them, searching through their gear, some of them being executed on the spot. Every single person that was executed, a writ nailed to the door. Suffer not the bandit to live. Each village is like this, save one, Balaki. People were pulled out, searched, not a single person executed. Then a woman stands up and spits in Strahd's face. A beautiful woman. He raises a hand to strike her and stops, wipes the spit from his brow, and leaves with his army. The next time he arrives, a small retinue. He's not in armor. He brings her flowers. She says no, throws the flowers on the ground. He leaves. This happens over and over. He throws lavish parties, town festivals. Each time, she denies him. Then one day his brother visits the castle. You see the resemblance, but his brother is fair-haired, a little bit more handsome, a little bit younger. This time he brings his brother with him and visits this woman. Something's different. Strahd is just happy. She says yes. But every time she touches Strahd, she looks past his shoulder at his brother sibling. She comes back to the castle. Strahd's love is such bliss. There's like an understanding. You can feel his emotions here. It's not just seeing it as if it was a movie in front of you, but you can feel it like you're there, even though you're watching it. She steps out of bed in the middle of the night. Strahd assumes that maybe she's working on a gift for him or something. He trusts her unequivocally. Then somebody appears, whispers into his ear. At that point, he looks crestfallen. You see him sneaking in the cover of moonlight to a small clearing. There, he witnesses his love and his brother. In tears, heartbroken, racing back to the castle. You can tell he's thinking of challenging his brother to a duel. He tells his general. The general tells him it's a bad idea. Your brother is the better swordsman, he'll kill you. Strahd strikes this man. Goes into his room, and in his rage, he cries out for revenge. And a voice whispers back, you are the better man. She just can't see it. You're older, you're aging. You need to be younger. You're not as strong as Serpent. You're not as soft-spoken as Serpent. When he asks people to do things, they listen simply by looking into his eyes. And then the voice whispers, I can give you all of this. Strahd yells out, show yourself! And out from the shadows, 3 figures. A crone, an old woman, gnarled and wrinkly. Then some sort of mage. A book floats just over his hand, his skin pulled back. Looks similar to Exitanther, though more vivid. He wears bluish purple robes, this golden armor around it. One of his hands is completely ethereal. And then a third figure. Large, armored man with long brown hair. He smiles and you see teeth. Vampiric teeth. But it doesn't make sense to either. Strahd is supposed to be the first vampire. Next, there's a whirl. You can see them whispering to him, talking to him. He drinks a potion. He commits to this ritual. And then his beloved comes in. She sees him doing this. They argue, they fight. She holds him, cries, kisses him on the cheek. He relaxes, stops. These figures come to him at night when he's sleeping, with her laying right next to him. They whisper at him. They push him to continue this ritual that he had stopped. But he doesn't listen. A year goes by. At this point, they've been wed. Sergei, never confronted by Strahd, stays in the castle, but is seen far less. A couple times, Strahd sends him out with his soldiers to battle. He returns victorious every time. Strahd seems disappointed. Then, the announcement that his beloved is pregnant. She becomes distant and cold and sick a lot. And then on the night that she's given birth, the baby comes out still. Strahd rushes in, hearing that his wife is on the verge of death herself. Again, begging for help, for somebody to save her. When those voices whisper him again, we can save her. Just finish the ritual. He says no. Not if it's for that. As he's going to leave, one of the handmaidens asks, "My lord, I know it may cause you great pain, but would you like to see your son?" And she folds this blanket down. There is this child. Dead blue eyes and fair hair. Not Strahd's son. With this, he flies into a rage, completes the ritual, storms into the castle to fight Sergei, challenges him to a duel. Mid-duel, has one of his assassins shoot him in the leg with a crossbow, and as he falls, he beheads his brother, and then drinks of his blood. Immediately, the rest of the castle, seeing this act of betrayal, drags the assassin out, murders him on the spot. All of these guardsmen, all of these knights, knowing this is not only a dishonorable, but a damnable act, attack Strahd. Only the spear that pierces him, the spear that you hold in your hand right now, doesn't kill him. You watch as the spear is pulled back and his wound starts to close. Strahd backhands this man through a wooden wall. The fight that ensues lasts maybe 10 minutes, until almost every standing member of this council has been slaughtered and is drink from each of them. But the three voices that whispered to him kept up their end of the deal. As his image faded from the mirror in front of him, he looked young and strong. And then in the room next door, he heard his wife gasp. He runs in there to greet his love. She's awake, she's healthy, as if she was never harmed. But confused at the way he looks, the blood on his hands. You see, they argue for a while. At this point, you no longer feel what Strahd is feeling. You can only see, as if something happened. And maybe when it was his soul that was ripped from his body, he became this vampire creature, you lost that contact. His wife runs from him. He lets her go. And then an hour later, he goes to visit her in her room. The door is locked. Sasha, relax. He opens it and she yells out, "You are not welcome in my home." And he can't step through the threshold. She then gets up, realizing that he can't move. Walks out onto the massive balcony overlooking the river of Barovia. Turns, plunges herself down into the waters. Strahd never spoke to any of those three voices again. They never came to him. He did eventually find that one of them was Valerie Saga. It wasn't sorrow for what he lost so much as just this need to kill anybody responsible, because it couldn't be his fault. He was manipulated. It couldn't be his fault. None of this was his doing. Look what they made him do. And then the vision goes away. And you hear that voice in your head. The last thing I remember is killing my brother. I didn't even know I lost my love. And you just feel this sorrow just welling up in you as if you're the one about to sorrow. Feel the tears warming your cheeks. And then you hear the sound of marching feet. You look as a ghostly army has assembled in the halls and stands in front of you. The skeletal figure that had mostly crumbled, standing now, half bone, half ghost, steps forward and looks at you. Who would command the armies of Barovia?
And I think I say this mentally in my head. Is he asking you or me?
I can't control you. I just tried to speak.
What you try to say?
As I, Strahd, Lord of Ravenloft.
I don't think that'll fly. Let me try. And I just look at the weird mixture thing. Strahd. My army.
Nothing happens. Then you hear Strahd's voice. Command them. You are the Lord of Ravenloft. They will not know the difference.
And I like try to create this fake like pop up my chest. I'm your commander. Follow, I guess, and I just like try to walk around towards the exit of the cavern.
None of them move. Strahd says, "You know how I speak. You were one of my gladiators, right? Treat them like Strahd would treat them."
An asshole for that.
I know.
And I kind of now more firmly, just very direct.
Go get him.
Like I said, I'm your commander who will follow my orders. Face me.
Only the one turns to face you. He steps forward. You can smell the decay and the dust, the bone meal in the air as he leans forward this close to your face.
You are no commander.
He reaches down and starts to draw a short sword from his belt.
And then taking that, I just swing the spear right through him with as much force as possible.
Yeah, it shatters on impact. You see the soul scream out and vanish into the air. And as that happens, all of these soldiers kneel in unison. Hundreds of them.
I just smirk. Just like, look down at them.
It's it. Rule with force. They'll listen now.
Rise.
They all stand in unison.
I think this is, I say this internally now. Kind of like this. And just head towards the exit.
Strahd says, careful. It's intoxicating. You know where the exit is. You can't go up through the water. But you know there is a catacomb that eventually leads out to the mausoleum of the city of Barovia. You can hear them marching behind you. And then you hear one speak.
My lord, we are at your command, but we cannot leave the catacombs until midnight.
Jesus Christ. Okay, midnight it is. And I just kind of lead them towards like whatever, there's closest clearing we have, and just kind of rest them there.
So they sit. Strahd says in your head, you have friends to meet. Give them commands. And as he says that, the one who had spoken to you looks dressed like a knight. Dark plate armor, the helmet in the shape of like a beaked bird, the visor open, wings coming from the back. He nods in your direction. Your Grace, when we do emerge, are we marching on the castle?
I'm gonna have to meet up with some friends first. Be stupid to go alone. But yes, we'll march eventually.
When the army marches on the castle, what are our orders?
Kill Strahd. And anyone else that gets in your way.
It will be done. And then it's almost as if he just shuts off. He just stands staring at the wall. All of the soldiers doing the same. Various bits, partially ghost-like. Parts of them are armored, skeletal. But they stand there and then just sort of fade from view in front of you. Strahd's voice. It's becoming very difficult for you to determine the difference between the sound of your own thoughts and his.
Yeah.
They listen. You've done well.
Don't praise me. And don't poke around, too.
I see every memory that you saw. It's a shared consciousness.
hate you.
I know that I would have never treated your family that way. It didn't hurt Valaki, and I never would have. It was a just town. Their leader killed their bandits. He didn't let them roost with them. Their people were hardworking and pure. I'm sure the same could be said about your family.
I'm feeling this partnership's gonna last a while, so let me draw some lines now. You mentioned my family. I dropped this spear. Now kill me if it means I kill you. Do not mention their names or anything about them again.
Dead silence. Sort of fear, anger, and indignation. Feelings, emotions that should be, that are yours, but didn't come from you. And then just a quiet, as you wish.
Good.
And you leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, once it's midnight, yeah. Because they can't.
Midnight would be after the feast.
But they can't leave the cavern until midnight.
Exactly. With
That's
the
why
feast.
you gave them commands.
Starts at sundown.
They'll come.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see.
Yeah.
I couldn't click on that.
Yeah, okay. They'll come.
Okay. You leave. Head back to the Ember Temple. On the way, you run into Gabriel, having just left Argynvost Holt. Gabriel recounts what happened to him as he fought the undead, skeletons, zombies, a white leader, a few ghouls that had taken up residence. Down in the armory, it's silent, nothing there. Gabriel takes one of the rings of Argynvost, places it on his finger, and a rush of cold enters the chamber. You do everything you can not to shiver as these 7 knights appear in front of you, clad in ancient chainmail, capes of this silver dragon scale. One of them steps forward. You are not known among us, imposter. And he looks down at the ring you're wearing. Identify yourself.
I am Sir Gabriel Delmont, the Resolute.
We know your name. You have slain us before
Yes, I have.
in honorable combat.
I
He
felt
takes his hand off of the sword belt. Yet, you have not taken the oath of Argynvost.
I have not,
That ring is not yours to bear.
but I must bear it to speak to you.
Then speak.
In the shadowed halls where valor wanes, where once bright cold blades now rust and stain, I gather you once again, hearts heavy with your memory, to rekindle the sacred flames of chivalry and duty. By the ancient oaths that you once swore, and still swear now, I call thee to honor them once again, to fight, to defend, to be true knights of Argynvost. Why his spirit may not be with you, your oaths are enough. We must be the light that guides those that seek it. We must be the shield that defends them. We must be the sword that strikes for them. We must die so others may walk in the light. So I ask you, this night that comes, there will be a feast, and I march to fight Strahd, to end his reign. I ask for you to gather every last ounce of your strength you have left and march one last time.
Silence. None of them move. You see, they turn their heads and they nod, each of them holding on to some pendant clasping their cloak, as if communicating telepathically amongst each other.
The Argynvost Hold 7 have deliberated. Your oath, similar to ours. Redemption weighs heavy upon your heart.
Yes.
Our master must be redeemed. He fell, became corrupted. His spirit will not enter the halls of his forefathers. It was taken. It is in possession of someone you know. We will march, and on your oath, either you will have her release that spirit, or you will slay her. What is your answer?
Even if we free that soul, he will not pass on. For this world is in the clutches of the laughing god. No soul may pass on. No soul.
That is why we defeat Strahd.
It will not free the souls.
Yet it was his spell that encapsulated this land.
No, it does not.
In life, you do not know what the souls know, Gabriel. You are misled. If Strahd is slain, Barovia is freed. Every soul trapped here will be able to move, to go where it is supposed to go. Celeborn will guide each of us, as is his sacred duty. And then he looks right at your breastplate,
Mm-hmm.
breastplate of Celeborn.
Uh-huh.
Do we have your oath?
Yes, you have my oath.
Kneel.
There's a sigh as I drop to my knee again.
Each of the 7 surround you, draw their swords, and place them just above your head. Just above. You can hear the steel ringing out. And you feel this cold wash over you. Swear it on pain of death.
I pull out my bronze sword. I swear this, Sir Gabriel Delmont the Resolute, son of Tyr. I will do everything in my power to free the soul of Argynvost.
With that, they pull their swords up into a salute.
Mm-hmm.
The ring on your finger is so icy cold you can see frostbite forming on it. And it pulses with power as they all vanish.
2 to 2.
Out on the road, you run into Ivan, recount the story of what happened, meet with the rest of the party, and begin travel.
It's true.
As you reach Falaki, a black carriage is waiting for the group. The team of 10 skeletal horses. Carriage door opens. Out steps Rahadim, who you've met. A elven man, aged, wrinkled, which would have to put him in his hundreds, maybe even almost 1,000 years old. He steps out, bows to the party. It is by the invitation of the Lord Baron Strahd von Zarovich that the 4, and he looks at 5 of you. 5 of you are invited to his feast and masquerade this evening. The activities will be lively, and it is his wish that you are all well rested. He points to the carriage. Please, know that as long as you honor the code of hospitality, no harm will come to you in Ravenloft. Points to the open carriage. You did what?
I lowered the mists.
Oh, it looks better.
I step forward and pull myself into the carriage.
Yeah, it's comfortable in here. Very nice. There is what looks to be wine, and various hors d'oeuvres. Middle, I see some lamb, some sort of wafers, bread.
Yeah, I follow suit and sit me as close as possible to him and kind of whisper to him about what happened in the caves.
Okay.
Figured if anything, he'll have some background knowledge. He's been longer with this
Right.
than I have, so.
Okay. So the 2 of you inside. Next.
I look at Soren, Gabriel. No, lads, what do you think?
Strahd can't see me with you.
And not any longer, can he?
No. What I mean is, Strahd can't know I'm in your company.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not supposed to be.
He knows when his Blood Knights died.
Doesn't mean he knows that I had any part in it.
You can, if you... I
It
feel
would
he
be
won't...
insubordination. You know how he responds to these things.
They're not well. You want to travel on foot?
Didn't Strahd invite Soren before he killed him?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're responding to your own invitation.
I imagine that would have gone another effect the second he.
He's still
Died.
Soren.
That's,
Not Barovia, but
I guess that is true.
And if you stay near me, he shouldn't have as much sway over you as he does before.
He has significantly less now.
And in my presence, it should assist you. And my gods are helping with that.
I think we all have
Control is less of a concern for me than him just outright killing me.
Hasn't he done it once already?
Again.
No.
I don't know what happens when he kills me. As a vampire.
Yeah, with any luck, we won't have to find out.
Luck. Something we seem to be short on.
Yeah. We have some hidden luck.
But Marius is right. I did receive an invitation.
Yeah.
So I step into the carriage.
Yeah.
Bedrog?
I look around. Gabriel?
Well, I was waiting for everyone else, but I'm going.
Yeah, I'm going in. Yeah, go in the carriage.
All right. Step in. Gabriel, you going?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Gabriel
Ah!
closes the doors.
I cast, fucking Detect Good and Evil.
Okay. 2 of your party members? Sorry, 3 of your party members.
They're all evil
Practically vile.
Yeah.
With evil.
I fist bump all of them. No, I'm just kidding.
Just kidding. Actually, no. Sorry. Only 2 of them. You sense nothing from them.
They're like a blank slate.
No, like
Nothing.
while the
That's all.
detect evil is on, you don't even see him. He's invisible to you now.
I definitely look at the 2 of you with, like, a tad bit touch of disgust.
You knew what this was when you saved me.
Just because I knew it was coming doesn't mean I don't find And as I stop cast, that is disturbing. You disappear from my sight.
Technically, I could too.
As long as you possess it's a form of the word evil is a bit egregious. A little bit of darkness. I can generally see you. I was able to see the vampire when she was invisible. I can't see him at all. It's very disturbing. But either way, moving on.
He says, I can't see him at all, and points to the other side of the carriage when he's right there.
Yeah.
I can't see him at all.
That's where I thought he was.
What I mean is, I've been watching you for weeks. Days. I don't know. Time feels different now. And you never noticed. But I'm in control now.
Good.
Where we go?
Were you reporting back to anybody while you were watching?
Yeah, Strahd and Blood Knights.
Oh, okay.
They knew everything. I told you that.
Yep. Just still adjusting.
While I'm in the carriage, is the banner still waving?
No, so you've basically taken the entire banner and just kind of put it in your backpack. So when you went to go into the carriage, you took it out, slid it along like a pole rack on the floor. No, nothing waving or
And
anything.
do I lose Strahd's voice while that happens, or he's just there?
He hasn't
He's
spoken
always
to
there.
you the entire time, but you can tell.
Okay, he's still there.
You can tell.
So
he's
it's not like contact.
You randomly feel emotions that aren't your emotions.
Okay.
Reactions to things the party say, things like that. There's
Oh, I lock in on that.
there's a general level of not disgust, doubt. Strahd doesn't think you guys are going to win. He wants you to, but he doesn't think you're going to. You can tell Strahd's soul is, you can literally see when Ivan will turn his head, you'll see his head move, and then you'll see Strahd's head.
Oh, like an after image?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Nate,
That's dope.
Cool.
You're artifacting.
I'm assuming Marius is the only one who sees that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All I know is I gave Ivan the ring.
No, that's it.
Just carry with Strahd. Yeah.
While we're sitting there, I'm messing with the ring. I'm just fidgeting with it.
Console, yeah.
What's the
Okay.
ring?
It's
It contains
it's
Strahd's
a
soul.
Ring of Ravenloft.
Oh,
You
it
see the
is.
symbol of Ravenloft?
No.
Yeah, you don't even know that they have Strahd's soul.
No.
It has his soul before he was
And
turned.
it's gonna stay there.
Well, I know Soren doesn't.
So you do step into the carriage, though? Okay. Snacks?
I pop the champagne.
You know, there is one.
There's a rack just to the right on the carriage as the carriage picks up and starts moving, and you can hear the clinking of several wine glasses in the rack.
One of the biggest complaints I had about being turned. Nothing from alcohol. Not even a little bit.
Drink it
No
anyway.
effect any longer.
Nothing.
That's sad.
We're all headed to our
It's
doom.
terrible.
Thank you, Marius.
In fact, if I get a similar feeling if I drink too much blood.
If you don't drink, I'm getting out.
I reach for the door. Not today.
Drink the champagne.
After. Fine. I reach over,
Just
grab
one
it.
glass won't
Aren't
hurt
you
you.
immune to poison anyway?
That's not the point.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, so am
Is
I.
alcohol considered
Yeah,
a
I knew
poison?
you were.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
I can drink it for a while.
Yeah.
So I just say fine. I grab it. I pull out a dagger, cut up so it pops the top off in the glass, and I just start downing the whole thing.
You didn't want it to last too long, did you?
I poured you a glass.
Oh, I took the thing from you.
A
Then.
bottle?
Apparently. No, I grab a new bottle off the shelf then, just because. Fine. No, I grab the champagne.
The last?
Yeah, I grab the glass.
Cool.
I could drink the bottle.
If it has no effect on them,
It just wouldn't do anything. It's
give it to those that it can affect.
quite a waste.
I just want to say, before we all die,
We're not going to die.
It's very
I'm
likely
already
we're gonna
dead.
die.
right. As much as I didn't want to be here, don't want to be here, I appreciate all the help you all brought to our strange alliance.
Strange one indeed.
And you'll be welcome in my home when we make it to my home.
The Grimguard?
To Grimguard.
To the friends we made along the way.
Fuck off.
Like, yeah.
I don't know. Like, this has been, like, it's only been a few days, but it's been really interesting. In some ways, like, I don't know, maybe Gabriel can attest to this a little bit too, but it's like bittersweet. Like, I came in wanting to help everybody. Some of you have done some dark things that I wish I could change the result of.
Me when you say that.
Yes, I'm looking at 3 of you. Are you kidding me? You're all fucking nuts. But anyway,
I didn't choose this.
I know you didn't, and but it's. I feel bad. I couldn't have done more to help. But we are where we are. We've made the decisions we've made. We've owned them, and we're heading forward.
As long as we can hit our end goal.
That's what we're trying to do.
Strahd, please. And doing that, I motioned for a second glass of champagne.
I just hand you the bottle.
And I just start downing it unless someone tells me to stop. I'm just gonna chug the whole thing.
We're gonna
Stop.
round robin
We're
that
in-
bottle.
No.
We're in-
I'm drinking for 2.
You thought we were. You thought we were going to tell you to stop. We're going to encourage it.
Well, go ahead and drink, lad. You've earned it.
Are you pregnant? Drinking for 2.
Pregnant with ideas.
I can't wait to pull an Oh Merry Men on Strahd.
Oh, Mary, man.
Oh Merry Man.
Cue the song from Shrek. So at this point, we're heading straight over, right? This is it.
We're heading
for
to
the feast.
the dinner.
This is the
The
point
feast.
in the video game where it says, make sure you're ready to do this because there's no going back
Final
to
mission
previous
upgrade
content.
before we begin.
This is the part of the game where if you wanted to do the rest of Act 2,
This
you
is-
better do it now.
This is the part of the game where there's this massive iron door, and right next to the door
There's
is
a
a
save-
treasure chest with all the healing potions and a save point.
And a save point.
You're like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, I know. It's
There's
coming
no
next.
save point though. It's,
No,
There's
it's,
a There's a plan on
yeah,
Iron Man mode.
we're,
We do
yeah,
need
we're,
to-
we're
we-
playing on
one life mode.
Yeah.
yeah,
We
we're
do
playing
need
on
to
ultra hardcore.
remember that his final defeat can only be accomplished in the dungeon.
Yeah, it's got to be
Kill
down,
him at the table,
down below.
kill him in a crypt, or his bed, wherever you find him.
Interesting thought as you're saying this.
Get up again.
Van Richten was with you when the carriage pulled up. He's not now.
Well, he didn't have an invitation, did he?
He didn't.
But he's not from us.
As far as you knew, he didn't.
I have a feeling about that.
There's something going on with him.
I didn't know he was there.
Yeah, he was coming.
At this point, it's about 5:30 maybe. The sun is starting to set. Not that you can really see it. Just roll on in silence.
At this point, I'm a little tipsy. Champagne.
How long is this ride?
A little bit.
Half hour, hour. Well then, I have a question.
We've
Nope.
gathered as many people to help us out as we can.
Are they caught up too on me and Gabriel stuff? Or do we need to tell them?
Is there anything you would have left out? Otherwise, they're caught up.
Yes.
Okay. So
That's
only
right.
he knows about
Yeah.
Shroud Soul?
Yeah, leave that part
I'm gonna leave that for
Okay.
later.
How about you?
third day.
I tell him.
Everything? Even about the Dragon's Soul?
Hearing that and
Is
just
it Argynvost dragon?
That is correct.
Oh, okay.
You know she won't release it.
I'm going to ask anyway.
Yeah, he said he'll do everything in his power.
Yeah.
Maybe she kills me. It is what it is.
She might.
It is very possible. I'm also hoping that I could just ask very nicely.
At this feast, do you think there'll be any keepers of the feather there? Maybe I can make contact with them.
They said they'd be there for it.
Yeah, maybe the innkeeper's there. He seems to be tied in with them. We've got the Druid Circle, we've got the Argynvost Knights, we've got the Army of the Undead. Or the Dead, whatever you want to call them.
And they're not available until midnight.
Yeah, we can delay. Drink. Eat.
Are we not sure if someone else at that feast isn't exactly the plan?
I mean, for all we could tell, it could be Von Richten. He left. He didn't make it to the carriage with us. He's just gone. I don't know if I fully trust him.
He'd kill his wife.
No. He said it wasn't his wife.
He's not
He said it. He said it never was. Chief, that was not Von Richten.
Could have been Strahd.
Or the one that was with us.
He said that was never my wife.
Yeah, either that or it's some
Maybe it's
separation in his mind of what she was versus when she turned, she was never that again.
there are no coincidences
Yeah.
in Barovia.
That's true too.
It would be up to Zally to use that as a way to look over us.
It's possible. Does he have the ability to shift like that, though? To change like that?
I wouldn't put
I've
it
only
past
seen
him.
him in his current form.
I've never seen it done by any vampire.
Bats,
Taking the
yeah.
shape of another person.
It's just as likely he could have just influenced someone to do it for him. Someone that could shapeshift. You guys know him, Van Richten, more than I did.
It's also very likely that Strahd could cast a spell to disguise himself. It's not difficult.
So I imagine we operate now with the assumption that he knows we're coming. He knows we were planning.
Well, he's known we were coming since he
He's known
invited
that.
us. And I know he knows some of what we've done.
That seems good.
Like that, what he did outside the Temple Dark in the road with the 10 that he staked. It was obviously a message that he knows what we're doing.
We better hope that Van Richten guy screw us over.
It should be muted.
Well, I just heard it, so you're not.
Sorry, there we go.
I heard it. I heard wolves. I heard horses.
So you look out one of the windows of the carriage. Yeah, there's wolves all over the place. In the woods, to each side of the road, behind the carriage. Maybe an honor guard, maybe something keeping in the carriages, who knows, but there's a massive pack of them.
I smile and
That's the. Maybe some other allies.
I begin speaking, and we come from different backgrounds and different events, different trials and tribulations. We have endured, made choices, changes, bared our soul to evil, to good, to the in-between. Some of us have gone to places that there might not be a return from. Some of us are just along for the ride. Others have revenge and justice on their mind. Others have the guarding of their home and a little bit of enjoyment. and some have a duty and an oath to fulfill. But we have all been gathered here to do one thing, and is to kill the devil. I'd say this is the part where you have a chance to hop off and change your mind, but we're already in the card. I made sure to start the speech before then, just so we couldn't turn back. We're already here now. And it is going to be a horrendous fight that may cost our lives. As much as I don't want to admit it, it is true. And I want to state, from the bottom of my heart, it has been a pleasure to work with every single one of you. A man whose demons have haunted him for so long, only to find freedom in darkness. I'm glad to have you at my back. A prince who has been corrupted and changed, but still wills himself forward. I welcome you to my side. Just a friendly dwarf, along for the ride, who has been through much, but his age has wisdom, and with wisdom comes strength. I welcome you to my side. And you, Ivan, a young man who has endured so much and still made choices that would cost him pain, who willingly goes forth.
That would really mess with my eyes.
I welcome you to my side, and may all of us march forward to our deaths, and may those moments be glorious, painful, and hopefully finite. May we win or die heroically. Let's go see Strahd. And I cast an Inspiring Leader.
Nice. Alright, so everybody get their temporary hit points?
17 temporary hit points.
It works on you.
I was gonna.
It's based on
I
inspiration.
was gonna ask. So
And you feel very inspired.
good catch.
I got scared.
Ivan. After hearing that speech, maybe you're coming around to the idea, or maybe it's just the fact that Strahd's soul and your soul are intertwined right now.
Oh, don't look at those.
You feel emboldened and imperial.
I meant that was.
I feel like Strahd must have felt when he was marching towards his mother's castle.
God.
You're inspired. The wolves outside, supposed to be allies of Strahd, but something tells you
They're not.
they're on your side.
No.
This comforting feeling, realizing there are only 12, 13 in that druid coven. They've summoned allies. It feels pretty inspiring. Marius, nothing about this seems right at all, but the alcohol is helping. You feel inspired.
So,
Soren, for a moment, you feel human. Well, you feel elven.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Elvin. That's weird.
You feel mortal.
I've never felt that before
For a
either.
moment, you feel mortal again, and it's hard for you to even care about the people in this carriage. You know you're supposed to, but you just don't. And yet, for a fleeting moment, you remember that these are probably the closest to friends you had ever had.
It's good alcohol.
That's good.
Well, tequila, baby.
Only you.
I know. You know what? You know, I knew it was gonna happen too.
so
I'm just surprised I didn't fuck any of that up.
as we're approaching and we see the castle in the distance, I have an idea to get Strahd into the dungeon. And I need you all to play along when it happens. You understand? Do not interfere. Again. I'm going to challenge Strahd to a duel. I'm going to draw the sword of his own brother, tell him that I will finish what Sergei couldn't, and that we will duel in the very dungeon he buried his brother. And that will put him where we need him to be. And then after he kills me, I should have bought us enough time for our allies to be here. And you will finish it.
I just look at him. nod my head and just silent agreement.
I will do everything I can to fight. And he'll win. But maybe I can hurt him before he does. And unlike my previous duel, you will let it find its natural end.
I'll make sure of it.
Do you wish to die, Marius?
Nobody wishes to die. I wish to save my home. And with any luck, maybe death won't be the end for me. Are we agreed?
Agreed.
Gabriel?
I'm running through other plans before I agree with yours.
Are you gonna
Marius.
duel him all the way down the stairs and into the crypt and into the dungeon?
Sure.
Or we can all walk there gently, without interference,
It is the most logical plan.
and put him right where we need him.
A voice in the back of your head, really just acknowledgement. The fact that he has your brother's sword pissing you off.
Oh, and probably what I just said too.
I'm just glaring at it, but like
How do we know it
like
even
side
work?
eyeing it.
That
Strahd.
sword is yours by right.
Strahd is a noble. He must accept a challenge of duel,
Especially from another noble.
especially from his brother's sword.
Every time that they mention that, my head just kind of like twitches a little bit. Like
Every time they talk about Strahd or mention Strahd, you turn as if they're saying your name. Yeah.
He would never know if I followed you.
Well, we're all going into that dungeon.
You're going to be spectators. It's a duel, a gentleman's duel, to be seen by all in attendance. I'm not
I guess his allies
going
would
to
be
sneak
there
up
as
on
well.
him. No dirty tricks. A fence.
I have no problem with dirty tricks. Fuck Strahd.
Soren, all of you. I will duel him and I will die, and you will do nothing to stop that from happening. You understand? All of you, swear it now. Swear it now. I'm going to put him where he needs to be finally die, to be dead and gone. I will put him there. I will have to die to make that happen, and if...
As we're talking, I want to do a perception check, see if anyone might be loud. At this point, I'm starting to get paranoid because we are in Strahd's cart. Just trying to see if we're being listened to at this point.
Even if...
You know you are. Yeah. Ron is
he's
just outside the cart driving it. You can hear when he breathes deeply. Like you can hear him that well. He can hear you guys.
It doesn't matter if he knows the plan.
Well, you also know that Rahadin is servant to Strahd, but has done things to help.
Well, I do, but I don't know what he's listening for.
Sure.
Marius, if you believe this strongly in this, I'll support you.
Good. You already did. Thank you. Gabriel, it is important to me I have your word. You will not intervene in the duel.
You have my word.
Soren?
I won't intervene unless Strahd forces me to.
He won't.
You don't know.
The
don't know.
real battle will begin after the duel. Do you understand?
Yes.
We'll be ready.
Alright.
And I do it just to him, this little symbol I used to do back in the arena, where I just kind of circle this and then just pound it twice.
I reach over and offer my arm to you,
I'll take it.
and I grab it and I pull you into a hug.
Ugh, you're hugging a corpse, man.
Don't give a shit. When we first ventured, I whisper this to him only, well, if anyone's listening, they might hear it, but I whisper it to you on purpose. When we started this adventure, you were a man I thought unredeemable. A man who I thought nothing but a butcher. I thought you were a monster. But when I saw behind it, I looked into your eyes and I saw truth. And even now I struggled for a time to learn who you were. But even now I learn you're worthy of redemption. Find yourself redeemed in these acts.
I'll push out.
Marius, Lord
Oh, go ahead.
Radic Marius. Find yourself redeemed in this selfless act. So says the son of Tyr.
So I'll
May
kind
my
of
words carry weight beyond their meaning.
push out of the hug, kind of clap your shoulders. Some of us are beyond redemption, but I appreciate what you mean. I'll take my seat again.
I just reach across, shake your hand.
Shake his hand.
Good luck.
Thank you. Then I'll sit back in my seat, and I'm just going to look out the window and watch us get closer and closer to the castle.
Hey, if you wanted, I could turn you into a vampire.
No.
I'm kidding. They didn't give me
Don't
that
even
one.
know how.
Yeah, I'll just, I'm going to be quiet for the rest of the journey.
And I'm like ultra fidgeting with the out of irritation, just like rubbing it. I like how the wristband thing does.
You
that.
never
It's like
liked
that.
the way this ring felt on your hands. Not even as a child.
It's probably really difficult for me
Did
to
Ghost
not
just not
notice
know
it
I
as a
noticed
vampire.
the sword?
My perception
Or
is probably
didn't.
crazy.
I was saying,
Until I brought,
sheathed.
and I brought it to his attention.
Yeah. He hasn't said anything though. But yeah, you didn't even like this ring as a child. You remember your mom, the queen, didn't like when she gave it to you as a gift. It was too big. You had to wrap twine on the inside to make it actually fit. You can still feel the twine kind of burning in your finger.
and I say this mentally. I told you to stop.
I'm not doing this. I'm so sorry. I thought we were protecting you. Referring to one of your memories, your thoughts. He's having a hard time keeping up with this too.
That's your brother.
Gave you a line. Get right up to it.
I try.
It just kind of instinctively, Bedroke just kind of reaches over, puts an arm on Ivan's shoulder, just kind of pats him. Just not even really thinking about it.
First instinct, how dare you touch a nobleman? But then
And I think of that, but then I mutter or whisper it. Just shut up. Yeah.
I probably hear you.
you would, yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
this dude's fucking crazy.
Did we get a long rest? I couldn't remember.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody got a long rest from their fighting before.
I already did it.
You too.
I mean,
Yours is different.
I didn't have
You
to
didn't sleep,
rest.
but you did get your own.
I got a long drink.
No,
So he gets turned and still doesn't need to sleep? Bullshit.
Bullshit.
And then mentally, I just tell myself to Strahd, goal hasn't changed. I'll burn your body. If I have to, I'll burn me next.
Moving forward to it. The first part, at least.
Finally agree on something. And I just shut up and look back in. Just kind of zone out.
The weather stops. Cart stops. You hear
The
Paladin get up, walk down, and open the carriage. As you do, castle is in front of you. The air grows thick with an unnatural chill. The sky is cloaked in dark, swirling clouds, and the road ahead becomes treacherous with jagged rocks and twisted gnarled trees, casting ominous shadows. The scent of damp earth and decaying flesh fills your nostrils. mingling with a faint metallic tang. The full majesty and horror of Castle Ravenloft looms into view. Perched atop a steep, rocky crag, the fortress stands as a testament to the dark power it houses. Its stone walls, blackened and weather-worn, rise high into the sky, crowned with sharp battlements that seem to claw at the heavens. Many spires pierce the gloom, their silhouettes stark against the tempestuous sky. Narrow, barred windows glint with an eerie, intermittent light, as if the castle itself were alive and watching. A massive tower dominates the structure, its peak shrouded in mist, adding to the air of mystery and dread. A creaking drawbridge spans a deep, mist-filled chasm, connecting the foreboding path to the castle's grand entrance. The portcullis, rusted and menacing, hangs like a grim mouth, waiting to swallow your party whole. An oppressive silence hangs over the scene, broken only by the distant rumble and thunder and the occasional mournful wail of the wind. As you stand before this opposing edifice, you can't help but feel the weight of countless eyes upon you, the spirits of those who have perished within these walls, and an ever-present malevolent gaze of the castle's master, Count Strahd von Zarovich. He's not there at the portcullis, though. Sahadim turns. I must lead the horses to the stables. Please, this way. He points towards the castle's entrance. The door will open for you. Another servant will appear. They will guide you. You will have a chance to dry yourselves, freshen up, put on whatever clothing you'd like for the feast. I know you will not trust me, but I assure you, your weapons will not be needed. Do you have any questions before I leave?
I'm just staring at the door. I'm just waiting.
I do not believe so, no.
Good.
Rahadim, thank you for the smooth ride.
Of course. The food, the drink. I would not say Strahd is perfectly honest, but he does take his hospitality seriously. If you're hungry, eat. If you're thirsty, drink. He would not trick you in that way. He would convince you, though. Just know that if you're drinking of blood or eating of flesh, it's because he asked you to. Openly. All the food prepared was prepared by willing people, by foods normal humans would eat. Or dwarves. I'm not saying you're safe within those walls, but your danger isn't exactly obvious. With that, he turns.
I just reply and say, great, the devil has manners. And I just walk towards the door.
Is it surprising?
No. He's lived as long as he has. They have a lot of manners.
At this point, I'm just ignoring them now. Now my mind's just set on what's coming up.
Okay. So each of you follows into the castle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you pass across this long bridge. At the front, a servant is standing, wearing a tabard with Ravenloft's symbol on it. Older gentleman, human, bulbous nose, balding hair, just hair on the sides, kind of horseshoeing around. He nods. Welcome to Castle Ravenloft. I will show you to your quarters if you would like to freshen up before the feast. He opens the door. It's not as weather-aged or decrepit as the outside looks. There are banners hanging from the wall. You see a banner of Delithria. You see a banner of Grimguard. You see Valaki's banner down the halls. Soldiers standing in full plate armor, holding spears. As you walk, each of them turns and looks at you. There's something unnatural about the way they move, though. Further down the way, you see candles have been lit. Candles and torches along these walls. As you walk by one hall, you can see off in the distance that hall is not as pretty as this is. There's cobwebs and debris. As if a forgotten wing of the castle. Past the walls and the defensive areas lead you into a larger manor. This would probably be the keep of the castle, though it's not a defensible building. Stone and wood intermixed, very beautiful, very well maintained. The courtyard is strewn about. You see the skeletal remains of some creatures. Supplies that the well has to have been dried up. See a spider web just cast all the way down inside. He walks to the doors and knocks. They swing open, 2 guards on the inside. Again, full plate. As you walk in, this is a beautiful, beautiful grand hall. It's not an ounce is dirty. You can feel the evil, the power that's still lurking in every shadow, and yet it's welcoming. As you march in, grand hall, beautiful red carpet leading up a set of stairs. The servant turns. He points towards the set of stairs to the right. That will lead to the dance hall. The masquerade will be in session in a few minutes' time. You're not late. You're fashionably late. Then he points to the other set of stairs. That's the feast hall. That is where you will be eating. But that shouldn't be for at least another hour. Would you like me to show you to your chambers?
Internally, I asked Strahd if he knows the way to navigate the castle still.
Each and every hall. It's funny because you asked, but you already know. You memorized all of this. You did it when you were 12 years old, before you left to go train with your father.
And I keep getting frustrated at that and just saying, like, not whispering it, but like just very loud thinking of it. That's not me. It's not we. So as a mantra to myself, and I just keep.
Strahd's confused too, and you can feel it. Well, to your quarters or straight to the masquerade?
Or Strahd.
Do not know. He will make himself known when it is time.
I
In the masquerade, I'm sure.
will go to my quarters first.
Okay.
I will go to quarters as well. Fuck it.
It is a shared room. We've converted servants' quarters, but trust me, it will do you honor.
Just fine.
Okay, so
Send us a servant to polish his armor.
That can be done.
If we're going to a party, we need to look respectable.
I agree. I hesitated because I'm the one normally doing it. It's the only reason. But we're short on time, so it must be done.
It will be done. He walks down the way. He's got this slight limp. You can tell it gives him some pain, but he seems fairly cheery. It's to a set of wooden doors. Opens into this area. It's servants' quarters, but it's fully revamped. It's beautiful in here. In fact, Marius, this is high Grimguardian fashion. On the walls, on decoration. In fact, you're almost positive that it's a bottle of Grimguardian sherry on the table. You recognize it too. Something's off. The bookshelf is identical to one you knocked a torch over into and started a fire. One that changed the course of your life forever.
I walk over to it and slowly run my hands across the books.
You can hear in your head screams inside that home. Just faintly, and then it's gone.
Gabriel,
Yes.
I can feel your blood.
He is playing games, even now. That bookshelf haunts my dreams to this day.
A servant walks into the room just as you're starting to kind of feel for the room. Hello, I am here to polish some armor. And anything else anybody might need. He kind of looks over at some of the decorations and everything, and really scrutinizes it for a minute.
I'm gonna walk over to a wardrobe and pull it open.
Fancy clothes, tons of them.
I
Ceremonial weapons as well on a rack.
start undoing my dingy, dirty battle.
Is there like gambus in or anything inside?
Yeah, I mean everything but armor. Yeah.
Is there a
Beautiful, there's a cream white colored gambeson that's really really nicely embroidered, and on the chest is the symbol of Grimguard.
Yeah, grab that. Then I grab the red cloak that is absolutely right next to it.
Servant, are you going to wear it, or should I remove it from you first?
I'm enjoying it. Remove it.
He walks over, starts unbuckling, and then he whispers in your ear. If Strahd has never left it by Ovia, does he know what the guardian things would look like? He keeps unbuckling.
I am as he goes back up to kind of like unhook the breastplate more. I whisper back because he plays his games well.
We can play a little bit better.
And I whisper back, "It's good to see you, Bonnet."
Just a little chuckle. I have been assigned as your servant for the rest of the evening.
And then
The last one became very simple.
I smack his hand. Not that buckle. And I kind of grab his shirt and I lean in. Take careful with this armor. It is special. And I like lean in closer, and I whisper something as low as I can so only he can hear it. I also trust. Yeah, I whisper something that is low as I can to the point. Maybe I don't even say it. I mouth it so he can read my lips.
Okay.
And that is it.
You tell me
Do
what
I
it says?
hear it?
I will.
Okay. No, you don't hear it.
Goodbye.
So as Marius strips down,
Whoa!
yeah, he's I'm not getting naked,
Got
but
small clothes underneath. It's okay.
I thought you were gonna say small something else.
he's at the same time looking healthier than any of you have ever seen before. Kind of more muscles, looking a little. He was pretty lean before, like sickly kind of lean, but now it's stronger. But at the same time, especially in his back and chest and down his arms a bit, his skin is looking thin and pale, and like if you touched it, it would dissolve like wet tissue paper.
Are you sure they didn't
He's somewhere
turn you?
between healthy and very, very not.
Are you sure they didn't turn you as well?
Quite certain.
I go through.
I throw on a real nice.
At this point, I'm putting the nice cream gambeson on. I'm grabbing the new nice forest green legs. I grab the new boots. At this point, might as well take advantage of the. If I'm gonna die, I might as well die looking good. And remember, everybody, no matter what happens, we are also on show. Things might not go as we expect, and we will have to act accordingly. That includes you, Marius. If something's different than you expect, act accordingly.
I think I'm the only one here who has experience at parties like these.
Oh, that's why I brought it up.
servant takes a bottle out of a bag he had on his side, and he pulls out some cups, pours a drink for each of you. This is from the establishment. Special only for you. And then he looks over at you. I do strongly believe you should. It's corks it, puts the rest of it back.
I
in.
reach over, grab it. Well, I would hate to be rude. One last cheer.
Is no one gonna question where we got this wine from?
I say take advantage of it. It's a good thing to have in this moment.
I think, as of right now, we should be all right.
My good over, I guess. I grab the glass and just.
Bottoms up.
To the Grimguardians.
And I wait for them. I watch them drink it first.
I'm the first one to go.
And I down it right after.
Okay. Nothing seems to happen. Tastes great. It's like ash in it or something. It's kind of a bitter aftertaste. And then you just hear a voice, and all of your heads ring out, clear as day. Oh, thank you for trusting me and drinking that. It's Thunderton's voice. Now we can all speak to each other mentally. Try it. It's a telepathic bond.
Look at Marius.
Get out of my head.
It seems to work.
You
Actually,
can't sense anything in their heads. You can only hear if they directly are attempting to speak to you.
so curious.
Mhm.
Does the mind blank affect this on me? It still works?
Yeah.
Okay. But you can't, I mean, you can't glean anything.
I'm also curious. Would they hear Strahd?
Only if you talk back to someone. What if Strahd
question.
does?
That's a good question.
question,
And
yeah.
and
So
how
I
affect
to,
my answer?
You
don't
know
know the
what?
answer, yeah.
Because I'm aware, I'll go. Can you both hear us?
Both. What?
Yeah.
They all heard that?
You hear a voice in your head. when
Oh,
it's
that's
saying
true.
it.
So, question.
Question: How's that work?
Yeah, can we direct it to individuals without anyone else, or do we direct it to a group
I
channel?
think the
Because
that's
bond.
a good
I think the bond
You-
means it's open channel.
Yeah, it's open
Oh, it's
channel
open.
just amongst this group and Van
And
Richten.
Van
though.
Richten.
But when he says that, or when he says it in your head, you hear Strahd's voice say, "Why is he just staring at you?"
Yeah. Oh, in his head, so we didn't hear it.
Okay. Curious.
Well, sorry.
Yes.
Well, you know, I don't say anything specific, but what would I say? You're still two, then.
Yeah.
Good.
Time to decipher that.
Patron. It's obvious.
Soren was a warlock at one point.
Well then,
Okay.
sorry for the bit of a subversion in that.
The voice again, the servant cleaning at the armor. Just hear the voice in your head though. I am assigned directly to you, so everywhere you go, I will be there. Anything you need, you can order me to do it. Best treat me like a servant, though. Otherwise, you'll figure it out.
Stand at the back, head down. Don't make eye contact with anyone. I'm sure you've played this game before.
Absolutely.
Von Richten, can you prepare Blood Knight's armor for me? For later.
I can fetch yours. I just have to find it.
Please do.
Okay.
Or task someone to. I don't care how it's done. It's not a strange request.
Not at all. With that, another knock on the door. Rahadim enters. Looks suspiciously at the servant for a second. Shakes his head, looks at the rest of you. It is time for the masquerade to begin. I do strongly suggest that you make your appearance. Strahd will be addressing the party. There are many delegates from far off here. Or so I've been told.
All right.
Okay.
When they announce me, Lord Doctor, Special title from Grimguard. It's uncommon.
I see. It will be done.
Thank you.
Fuck it.
Okay, what are you bringing with you? All of your gear, everything? Or just basic clothing? What?
I'm bringing everything.
I keep the sword on my side.
I keep-
Saber is ceremonial. Or
I wouldn't know what to bring in this because I'm not from that class, so I just bring everything, assuming that's acceptable.
Okay.
If I have the clothing on,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Your blue and white armor that's starting to sort of darken.
Yeah.
almost
Soren
tarnish.
would tell you it's weird, but not necessarily like you. Not that you couldn't do it. It would. People will just go, "That's kind of weird."
I kind of want to tuck the sunblade away, not to hide it. I'm just trying to keep it away from like direct sight, as not to
Yeah.
be rude,
Yeah.
because he doesn't like the look of it. So I know he's not gonna be happy to see it, so I want to tuck it away, even if I have to like
It's a sword handle.
put it like
Easy enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I want to put that ring as obvious as I can.
Okay.
And then I have my staff,
Mhm.
but it looks like most
you wouldn't
people.
part an old man from his walking
Yeah,
stick.
exactly.
Yeah, and I
Wouldn't part an older druid from his walking
all my
stick.
armor, cloak, everything like that is normal if I were to appear in court. So the only thing I'll do is I'll just comb my hair a bit and kind of sleek it to the sleek it back into the side so it kind of is out of my face more. I'll just kind of trim out my beard, kind of make it line up.
Actually, do 2 braids
Two braids.
in my beard.
Nice.
A little bit
Yeah,
more
I make no
ceremonial.
effort to clean up besides just wearing the clothes. Like
Yeah.
all of this is just a slap in the face to Strahd the more I'm doing it. So
Fair. Your armor is brought in. It's not armor, you know. Like it looks like plate mail, but it's lightweight. It's featherweight, you know. It's yeah. But you don't put it on. You just step forward and it turns to blood and absorbs around you. It's a very creepy sight. It's form fitting to you exactly. You can see the creases in the armor, the joints, but it's form fitting. It's like there's no gap between him and that armor. It's a second skin.
We've seen that before.
And the only reason I'm supposed to be wearing it is because the succubus was supposed to have one.
I'm gonna ask in the mental communication. Did you figure out the little ritual we had a problem with?
Still working.
I might have an answer as well.
Has anyone made contact with the witch?
No, as far as I know, either she's already here somewhere or she's left. I visited the madman, but he wasn't there either. Judging by the state of the place, I think he came too. But there was residue of a portal. Big one that might have been able to carry him outside of Barovia. Powerful wizard. I did not recognize the name. Mordenkainen.
That doesn't ring a bell.
Not at
For any of us.
all. Wait a minute. It rings a bell as in I have no idea.
That would be the thought that rang. Yes.
Exactly.
All right. So, the 6 of you, with your servant, head up the stairs to the right. You open the door, and it's a masquerade. There are people standing around, drinking, talking, snacking. All of them wearing masks. None of you are.
Were.
Hmm?
Were.
So he puts his plague doctor mask on.
Don't worry, I knew you'd all forget.
I grabbed the
Take
white one.
them.
All right. Yeah.
Is there a green one? I grabbed the green one.
So, what Soren is holding is masks that were each catered to you. There was a lack of mask for Marius. And there was no mask for you as well.
There was a red one.
It's because you're in a tin can.
Well, yeah, you can just form the blood around
The blood knife can go. Yeah, the blood.
I'm sorry, I still forget you have the fucking tin can on.
I don't.
You don't? Did we take it off?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had this envision of just
No,
this
the tin
fucking
can-
metal
No,
bowl.
talking this whole time.
That came off because he got enough blood.
Because I couldn't
to even
speak.
himself
Dude,
out.
that's fair. Sorry, the telecommunication fucked me up. I still thought you were just talking to me in this giant metal circle.
No.
Just
It's a green mask, very small, just covering the eyes and sitting on top of the nose.
No.
And it has
Lightning bolts, beautifully set above the mask, shooting out like kind of a circular pattern above, and then below, what would be the beard for this mask are these twigs that kind of come out, just leaving a space open for your mouth and come off to the side here. Gabriel, yes, your mask is white, but it's white hair. It's a mask that has sort of feathers that come up and go back.
Fancy.
The actual portion of the mask, all the way except for the mouth that is cut out, is the spitting image of your father.
Oh.
that father.
Your real father.
Okay, I was like, well, there's two of those, so. Wow.
Ivan, yours has a mask split in half. In two different sides. One side is a raven, a beautiful feathered raven with the semblance of just a tiny beak coming forward off the nose, and the feathers go back along the side. The other half of the mask is a white-haired elderly woman. But it's beautifully done. It doesn't look ugly or like the wrinkles are perfectly crafted. Very, very beautiful and very much in semblance of your mother. And then you hear a voice inside your head. This is insulting. Don't put that on. How does he know?
I don't respond. I take the mask, I drop it, and I stomp on it.
Okay. Then as you go to walk in, a man is standing stout, 6'3", 6'4". He is holding a loudspeaker in his hand, and in front of them is a dais with a book. And he looks as you walk in, and he looks at you, and he looks down at the book, and then he speaks out. Knight Gabriel the Resolute, formerly of the House of Delmont, now of the House of Justice and the Morning Lord. I walk forward. I bow. Looks down at the book. Bedrock Brokenbeard, veteran of the Hammering War, tender of the Grove.
I walk in, take off my hat, flourish a bow. Put it back on.
You step forward, looks at you, looks at the book. Gladiator Ivan of Valaki. Champion of the pits. And then, just as you take another step in, you hear him say quietly, bows. And then he turns and looks over at Soren. Soren, you step forward. The Wraith of Ravenloft, formerly of Grimguard, Knight in the House of Barovia.
As he says that, I have my helmet form over my face. And I'll cast a minor illusion on Ivan for a mask for him
Do I feel that? Like, do I feel the mask?
You wouldn't feel anything. You wouldn't even know it was there. What's it look like?
After hearing how he described Ivan, I give him a mask in a gladiatorial style.
Oh, cool.
Something that almost looks like a half visor.
Yeah.
Of a gladiator.
Oh,
A gladiator.
You don't even know it's there. When you walk by a mirror, you'll see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
For now, I'm just scanning the room for Strahd. Let's see.
Sure. He looks down at his book, looks up at you. My lord, I can introduce you, but there was a special request. You were to meet somebody important. Just outside in a waiting room. Would you like to be introduced now, or won't you return?
On my return.
Excellent. He never returned.
So, I mentally will tell them, go on and mingle. I'll catch up.
Gross.
Turn around towards this waiting room. The announcer will point me the way, I assume.
So, yeah, you're led over to a side room. It's a small room. Door you entered, and then on the other side, just like 2 benches, 2 mirrors, a cistern with water, and then another door. As you walk in there, the door closes behind you. The door in front of you opens. You follow that hall down a while. Torches are lighting on the walls, guiding you. It starts to get colder. You go down a ways, down a set of stone stairs, into a small supply closet of some sort. And in here are people
The demons are messing with me now.
chained to the floor. 4 of them. Suddenly, this cacophony of spirits' voices. And then, in the center, one of these people, an elder man, 60s, a little beaten, on his chest is parchment that has been sewn to it. The parchment reads, I know you have a hunger, Marius. I wanted to make sure it was sated. Ask the spirits, all 4 of them deserve to be killed in your little way. Signed, Strahd von Srovich. The spirits are begging for their deaths. Each and every one of them.
It's been a while since this has happened. And I thought the mind blink was responsible for getting rid of most of these urges.
Maybe it's the proximity. There are 30, 40 spirits in this room, all just pointing at each of these targets with this hatred in their eyes, venom in their voices. You can't quite make out what they're saying, but it's accusatory.
Oh, show me what they've done. No,
Yeah.
I'll grab the first one. The one that had the parchment on him. Just kind of grab his head like this. and
Vision floods in. This man, to save his family, would lure children into alleyways of Barovia, capture them, bag over their head, and then donate them to Castle Ravenloft.
What's he doing right now? Is he like eyes closed, cowering, whimpering? What's going
He's
on?
whimpering. I don't know what's happened. Please, I have a family.
Not
children.
anymore. And I will make him look into the eyes of the mask.
Yeah. They go wide and blank. And he just kind of falls into a stupor. And then he just erupts into sobbing.
Before he can continue much further. Right across.
You hear the... And and the bubbling as the blood just sort of froths and falls over. The blood slashes all the way across your beautiful suit.
I control the urge enough not to do most of the ritual stuff, but I do slit all of their throats.
And each and every one of them absolutely guilty. The last one, before you slit her throat.
Place my hand on her head.
She's a tavern wench. Very lively tavern.
This
She's
isn't Barovia? Or is it? It's hard to tell.
It's a lively tavern. She seems very intently focused on somebody across the room. It's a woman. I don't recognize her. But when the woman leaves, she follows this woman back to her home. She sneaks in through the front door, quickly picks up a knife laying on the counter, and stabs the woman 3, 4, 5 times. As the woman's bleeding out, she reaches towards a door. The wench drops the knife, walks through the door, and there's a child. A boy, maybe 4 years old, 3 years old. Strong cheekbones, stout jaw, sort of nutmeg, blondish brown hair. Eyes, strikingly the same color as Gabriel's. This woman scoops up the boy, comforts him, runs out of the room. Runs to a dark alleyway where there's a man standing there in the shadows. She approaches, holds out the child. Strahd takes the boy, and then steps back into the shadows. The woman sobs. Eventually, the town watch arrests her. She's covered in blood. And then one day she wakes up right here.
So, I kind of pull her hair and make her look back and up. What was that boy's name?
I don't know.
Where were you?
What do you mean, where was I?
Where are you from?
I was in the Sun District. That's Grimguard.
Had he ever mentioned where he lived?
No.
You'll be free soon enough.
She bleeds out.
I need to get to Gabriel quickly to arm
So you
him
do.
against what's about to come.
You rush through the halls, same way you came. The torch is lighting for you, as if guiding you, though you don't need their help anymore.
Take a kerchief from my back pocket. Do my best. It's a black suit, so maybe it won't show up too much.
So, you burst into the hall. Each of you had sort of started to mingle. You're wandering around. You're, just kind of pacing and looking at people almost as if on duty. Ivan, you've found a corner to lean against and get a good view of the whole room. Bedrock, you're actually talking to a group of dwarves. They're the same dwarves that had come to Barovia when, or not to Barovia, sorry, to Delithria, which is where you're originally from. They're just drinking, having a good time. They said they were invited and they're happy to be here. When you asked them what they're drinking, they said that there was a special wine made for the guests, though it was announced earlier that it was out and they'd moved on to a different cask.
They're the same ones from Quest's End.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which was a different world.
Yeah, different. Yeah, parallel area. Yeah.
Gabriel, you're lightly chatting with some people. When you hear somebody's voice, Squire Gabriel, you turn. A woman in full plate of your order, standing. She's got this light halo just kind of glowing around her head. This would be Knight Master Liliana, the leader of your order. Or is it night, Gabriel? What has happened? And just before you go to speak, a voice rings out. Lord Dr. Marius Radic, Scourge of the Shadows, Ripper of the Deserving. Scourge of the Shadows was the name of the serial killer in Grimguard. But as you're turning, you look at
Is he covered?
Marius. Covered. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's down one of his arms. You can see it on his hand. He's smeared a little bit of it, tried to wipe it off on his chest, and he turns frantically looking for Gabriel, and then the voice rings out again. Baron Strahd von Zarovich, Master of the Castle Ravenloft, the Immortal. And everybody turns. Strahd is not in the entryway with you, but in the far end of the room. Standing, beautiful black and red, a long cape, ceremonial armor on his neck and shoulders, no sword at his side. He does a light bow. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, looks right at you when he says that. Welcome to Castle Ravenloft. Tonight, we celebrate a momentous occasion. For it is the anniversary of the day I embraced my true destiny and became immortal. Centuries have passed since that fateful night, yet the memory remains as vivid as the blood that courses through my veins. It was on that night that I transcended the mortal coil, defied the shackles of time, and claimed my rightful place as the eternal god of these lands. You, my honored guests, have been chosen to partake in this grand celebration. Revel in the opulence of my hall, savor the finest delicacies, and drink to your heart's content. For tonight, we are not bound by the trivialities of the mortal world. Tonight, we bask in the glory of the eternal night, my glory. Know, he looks right at Gabriel, that you are safe within these walls, under my protection. Enjoy the feast, indulge in the festivities, and let the spirit of this immortal night fill your hearts with wonder and awe. Welcome to my dark domain. This night will be as timeless as my reign. Everybody starts cheering and clapping. The Night Master next to you, she is clapping. She's like, "Hear, hear!" Completely unfazed. The crowd starts to swell. People start dancing. A dwarven woman runs over and grabs your hand, Bedrock. She starts spinning you around. Ivan, you're even caught up as you start marching towards Strahd. You said, "Fuck it, this is it." As you're marching towards him, you get caught up in the crowd, and you're pushing people away, and by the time you get to where he'd be, he's not there anymore.
Yeah, I turn back to see if I can spot him again.
Yeah, you're searching
As
around.
soon as you turn back, I'm standing there. Not here.
So every time I try and reach out to you with the mental connection, all I get are the wails of the dead in my head, and I can't seem to warn you. So I'm trying to push through these crowds to get to him.
You get swept up at one point. A woman grabs your hand, but the touch is cold, very cold. You turn and you smile. It's a vampire. She nods in your direction. Lord Doctor.
I assume you like the cologne.
Oh, you're clever. Thank you. I do. But more importantly, I want to dance with the man that may have killed creative ways than even my master. Do you have somewhere to be?
I've lost him in the chaos.
She glances through the crowd.
As this
Trying to warn Gabriel.
As this is going on with the normal one, I'm kind of like just going with the flow and dancing, but working my way closer to Gabriel.
When she mentions Gabriel, I turn back to her, kind of grab her wrist hard, and then pull her into a dance stance, a waltz.
Mm-hmm.
I start to waltz with her.
As you're waltzing, she says, Strahd knew you would know. Don't you want to warn him? I have a job to do. It's to remind you, and hopefully, in doing so, reminding your friends, that tonight is a game, and you must play it right. There are people close to you or your friends that will be slaughtered brutally. I wouldn't tell Gabriel.
Where's the boy?
Here in the castle, with a little blind girl. Don't look at me like that.
You did it.
So I take a moment. And I realize that if he knows that those two hostages are there, he may not be willing to do what he has to do. So I give her a little spin. I won't tell him a thing. And then we just continue to dance.
You dance for a while. She smiles. Towards the end of one of the songs, she leans forward, kisses you on the cheek. You do smell amazing. Then she takes a step back. If the voices are too loud, go quiet now. Everything you need is in your room. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Did you happen to be within 10 feet of me?
So, if it is...
Hey, you're within 10 feet of me, bro! Let's go!
We're that close together, huh?
Yeah, there's a
You have no idea, though.
Hey, Justin.
You just feel...
Fair enough. If it is for... Marius has never been able to resist the urge. I'm going to roll this with disadvantage, friend.
You still have a +7 to this roll.
Fair enough.
And you have blessed, don't forget that.
That's true.
You have D4 +7.
All right. Yeah.
I'm trying my happy fucking damnedest to get you fucking right, my friend.
Yeah. The urge is powerful. 11 plus 7 is 18.
18.
With disadvantage.
The voices are all
Plus
over
7
the place.
is wild.
Yeah, there's a headache for sure, but you do manage to resist the urge to quiet those voices.
That is the first time.
That's when you fucking needed it most, my friend.
Especially at this
So the dancing
dinner.
continues. Eventually, Gabriel, you do turn a corner. You're dancing with the Night Master. Confused, but when you started to ask her questions, she says, now's not the time for questions.
I'm sorry, but it is. And I spin her around.
As you spin her around, she just steps off into the crowd, and you turn to chase her, and then you run right into Marius.
Marius? Are you okay?
No.
Why?
Because Strahd, look at me.
What happened?
He is tempting me.
Can I sense the blood on him? Like
For
spilled
sure.
blood without
Like a
my...
doubt.
Oh yeah, I can.
And you can see there are
See
other
it.
vampires in this room. There's about, that you've clocked, 12.
I'm
13
turning
of them.
heads in the
They're all
wrong
just,
way.
They're all
yeah, their
staring at
eyes
Marius.
kind of lit up. They're just looking in his direction.
Is there any way for me to remove the blood from him and absorb it into my armor?
Presto.
Digit.
Presto. It's a play on words. Sorry, I never caught that until just now. Until just fucking now.
I've been calling it
Dude, he calls
Presto
it Presto
for
for
ages.
years.
That's why I call it Prestidigitation.
Literal years he
Presto.
said that.
Yeah, I never caught on to it.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, that's like the legitimately 8 years of D&D that caught up to me in a single second.
There you go.
That's funny.
That's
That's
insane.
That's a what no fuck?
I think the first time you ever said presto, I was like, oh.
Yeah. Anyway,
I dance by. He's trying to tempt us all. And I keep going.
We'll find it.
I am.
We have things that we need to do.
Looking through the crowd, you turn and see Strahd walking out the entrance of the masquerade hall, 20, 30 feet away from you.
I book it.
Okay.
I like shoving people. Like I'm just
Yeah.
shouldering people out the
Dude,
way.
Roll an athletics check just to to do this without causing a massive scene.
Yeah.
Ooh, make a scene.
23.
You drop that arm and just start.
Oh, he did roll a 23. I see. Right
Should
there.
I make a perception check since it's kind of my act to be on guard?
You're
Or
already out of the room.
oh,
You looked for the right moment and you ducked out. You went down a series of hallways to where Esmeralda was being kept.
Oh,
You unlock the door. The key is literally dangling from the handle right in front of it. 2 guards don't pay you any attention. You walk in, Esmeralda's sitting leaning against the bed, staring up at the ceiling.
she has no idea because I'm still masked.
Wait, what do you want? The door's closed behind you.
Are the guards in the room?
Just you.
I'm not wearing the dress,
Don't drink.
and that mask is hideous.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
You are if you want to kill Strahd.
She gets up, stiff, walks over, right in front of you, just drops her clothes, starts putting the dress on. Walks over, grabs the mask, puts it on. Why would I want to kill Strahd?
I let the helmet drop because he
So-
took you.
Her hand touches your cheek. What did he do to you?
He turned me into a monster.
What? You're not the only one. But that's it. She takes a step back away from you. Guess I'll need these. She walks over and she grabs a little pouch. Opens up a book real quick. Looks through it. Peace. Okay. Turns and looks at you. Are we ready?
No, not now.
What do you want me to do then?
Figure out a way to stay hidden. Do what you can.
I should be able to do that fairly easy enough. Look, she turns and faces the book towards you. It's just a drawing, but it's almost like an optical illusion. It kind of messes with your eyes a little bit. And then you hear her say, I was always on his side, Sori. From the very beginning. I need you to roll a DC 20 intelligence check. Or saving throw, sorry.
Oh no.
Chase, you have the medallion.
That's true.
It's true.
Oh, +1. Can use it after.
No, he changed the rule.
Oh,
I did last
Yeah,
week.
Changed it, so.
it's a +1.
Oh, you did last week?
I did,
You
but
need
I
an
did
natural,
not
you need
get
an
that
natural
for you.
20 anyway.
For the roll?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Well,
you got
I
it
need a
before I roll.
19.
That's fair.
Use the
Fair.
Use the medallion.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get lost for a second. You feel like you're falling through the air, and then you shake your head,
That's not yours.
take a step back, and
Here you go, boss.
Whoa.
the
What's
walls
this collusion that's going
are
on
like
there?
shifting, and then they stiffen up, and everything just becomes very real again. And she looks at you, closes the book, and just throws it right at you, like violently, like shit. throws it at you, and then turns to run away. If you would like to catch her, I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
A dexterity saving throw?
Drink her dry, vampire.
19.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You literally materialize in front of her and just hand out right on their throat. Bam. She reaches up and grabs it. She's like, sorry. No, he's making me do it.
I locked the gate behind me.
The door?
Yeah, the gate.
Oh, yeah. You're just in a room. It's
Is
just
she
a nice
a
room. It's
vampire?
not a cell. No. She's not. You can feel her heart beating. You can feel the warmth through her skin.
I'll give you a piece of advice. If you're going to show all of your cards, make sure they fucking work. I'm gonna try to drive my hand through her heart.
Okay.
You don't use a DC 20 save spell against someone and expect them not to react. Do you need a strength check?
Only you knew what the spell was. No. No, I don't need a strength check. So your fist, you just push it through her, like ribcage?
Yeah, I'm trying to grab, like...
So she gasps in pain as the sort of solar plexus in her ribs start to crack inward. And just as that happens, she's gone. Disappeared from your grasp completely. She's got to be dead, though.
Because I went far enough in.
Yeah, I mean, just as much as you pressed in, I mean, wherever she appeared, she's got to be dying or dead.
Do I know how long until the feast?
Should be right now. Any minute.
I don't show up.
Okay.
Because I'm scouring the castle.
Okay. You can think of a couple places she might be, so you check those places first. Ivan, you rush after Strahd. Just as you get outside the room, you see him rounding a corner to the right. You follow.
I would have took the book too, by the way.
Okay. Every corner you round, he's just passing that next corner. When finally a voice in your head says, "This is a trap."
Expected so. I just keep following anyways.
You round a corner, and a blast of wind hits you in the face. You blink just like that. You're not wearing your armor. You're outside, near a cornfield. You hear a little girl giggling nearby. "Ivan, that's not how you play!" You turn and look. Your sister, much younger though, standing there with a stick in one hand and a hoop rolls right past you. And then you hear the voice of your mother. "Children, time for supper!" You can smell a mutton stew. You know that you went and bought bread and garlic for your mother earlier. So she must be making just the most amazing, your favorite meal. You would take this bread, it's this buttery garlic and cheesy goat's cheese bread, and you would dip it in the stew, and it was just the most delicious thing you'd ever had.
Hearing her voice, I like literally as close to a sprint as possible head towards her.
Yeah. You get to the doorway, and she's standing right there, smiling at you. "Ivan, you're so dirty. Wash yourself off before you eat." She steps out of the way to let you in.
No, I like nearly tackle her with like a hug.
Oh yeah, you're half her size. You're
Yeah.
like 9 years old, maybe. You wrap your arms around her waist. She pats you on the head. She's like, "Whoa, careful! You're much too big for that. You have to slow down. I'm too old, Ivan." Then she pauses. She goes up. Petra, get your father." That doesn't make sense. Then you hear a voice in your head go, "We don't have a father."
I don't have a father.
I'm sorry. Mother, your mother is very beautiful, very kind.
She is.
Again, I am sorry. You go inside, almost without your own action. You're washing your hands, sitting down at the table. Katerina sits down. Petra comes in, holding Strahd von Zerovich's hand.
Am I seated or where am I?
Yeah, you're seated.
I'm gonna try to like spring up.
Yeah, in an instant you're up. The whole table goes flying against the wall. The room is dark again. You're in your armor holding your weapon. Strahd is standing facing you this far away, 5 feet. Ivan, I was giving you something nice.
You were twisted.
No. Somebody came in to tell you something. Petra. I have her. So I have a little boy named Connor. There's a blind girl as well. One from Valaki. I want to have a good night. I want to celebrate with my friends, you, Gabriel, Bedrock, Marius. But we can't do that if you're trying to kill me. So I'm just going to make it simple. Play the game. And your sister lives a long, mortal, wonderful life.
I step to him, just like as close as I can get to.
He takes a step two, right into your face with a smile. Don't play the game. And I will make sure that your sister feasts on all of the lucky.
As he's doing that, I'm like digging my hands like to the point of almost drawing blood into my
the
palm.
mace?
Yeah,
Okay.
into my palm, just kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And you hear a little voice inside your head. I wouldn't threaten someone if I didn't mean it. But he wants you to strike him right now. It's what we would have wanted Ivan to do.
I like glaring at him, but still step back.
So you step back, and for an instant, you can see the ghostly image of Strahd in front of you, as if he didn't pull back fast enough. And the vampire. What is this? What is this? Some sort of trick? And he steps forward and swipes at the ghost as it vanishes, and you can kind of feel that presence back in your mind. What are you doing? Answer.
He just touched his own soul for a moment. You have your own game to play.
I just stay looking at him, just seeing if maybe Strahd says anything. Like the inner voice says anything.
After about 2 seconds, he grabs you by the edges of your armor and slams you up against the wall. Answer me! What is that? And then he drops you, 2 inches above the floor. He drops you, takes a step back, dusts himself off. For just a brief second, his face kind of elongated and looked very bestial. I'm sorry, you are a guest, and I said you would not come to harm. But you won't. Please accept my apologies in return. The feast is starting.
I just smile at him. See you soon. I just head towards the feast.
The drug, as you're dancing, you hear hammering, loud, ringing out like a forge. But it's not the forge, it's the hills themselves. They're all hammering, constantly, during sunrise hours, in your home. And Strahd is sitting in the sunlight, facing you. Bedrock, my friendly dwarf, please. It's a picnic.
I walk over, see Strahd, do a little head nod, sit down. I understand what you're doing here, sir. And I see that you're kind of playing mind games with everybody else. And I understand you think it's from a capacity to try to ease them. But I understand that you're not one to be eased.
Motions in front of you, there's a set of dragon chess. Moves a piece. You're right. I wasn't going to play some game of trickery with you. I figured something more straightforward would work. You're very wise, Bedroom.
I grab the piece and countermove, move it forward a little bit. That's not really wisdom. It's years of experience and always standing back and watching for the big picture.
What is the big picture?
Well, the neat thing with the big picture is it has many facets and many sides. You have yourself, who still to this day, unfathomably, moving another piece forward, think you're doing the right thing for yourself and for your people. And then there's myself and the other 4 with me. Or maybe 5, or maybe 6, or maybe more. And each one of them has their own case. That was a good move. Yeah, I'll look at the board. But you always have to understand that each person has their own will and their own vision. And no matter how much you toy with them, and move something else forward, that when it all comes to fruition, you might not know what side is going to come.
It's true. You can't know everything.
Although I have a feeling you tried to claim that you know a lot. And I believe you do. You see more than the rest of us understand.
Well, that's because of experience and age. How old are you, Pedro?
Well, if you... What it feels like for me is 147 years. But I do know that when I left Delphria, that was over 2,000 years ago. And you have a banner in here for Delphria, and you somehow have managed to get some of my kinsmen here. So I know that you have been around for too long. I move another piece forward.
That's How often have you played this game? He moves a piece immediately.
A fair amount in my soldiering days. We did it to keep our minds agile, but also at the same time away from battle, even though we were in the midst of it. Moved another piece.
Looks almost angry for a second. You are good. There is a little known fact about this game, its origins. You see, there was a dragon chess match played out eons ago between... Goes to a piece and stops. Between a man named Cass and another man named Vecna. That's how they became friends. Cass would eventually betray him. But the origins of the game. Now people bet money or favors, debts, but originally it was just a secret. That's all that mattered. Did you know? He takes a piece. And just as he touches it, you realize he might be able to win with this next move. Did you know that there were 3 ways to end the game? You take my dragon, I lose. I take your dragon, you lose. And then he moves a piece, his dragon, right next to yours. He goes, oh. You find what's called an alliance. And as he says that, both pieces turn and face each other. Now, obviously I'm not
here to actually ally with you. I know your friends are here to kill me. But when an alliance is formed on the board, one secret is given from each player. But it's volunteered. It's not something asked, but given. So it's seen as a lesser victory. So, what is your secret, Pedro?
I look at him and I kind of stare into his eyes, and I also look away a little bit too because I remember what happened with Soren. And I just kind of say, my secret is that I've read your story and I've seen what you've been through. And you'll never understand the depths of a true human soul. And then I take his dragon.
Ouch. It's an interesting thought. Suppose a rancher will slaughter many a sheep, and yet he'll never truly know what it is to be a sheep. My secret reaches over and he grabs your dragon. Your ally, Exithanter. He's the one who created the mists. He's the one that locked Grimguard and everywhere else away. I think he told you you were talking to his simulacrum. It was Vecna all along. Puts the piece down. He was trapped here by the dark powers, the true beings that rule in the mists. This is the Shadowfell, a plane of existence, a plane of punishment. They pull these realms in. They trap the worst. They trapped Barovia because of me, because of how powerful I was becoming. They trapped the Hammering Hills because of just how far they were digging and what they had uncovered. Do you know what your people uncovered?
I sit there and think. No,
A
I
sword,
don't.
a powerful blade, forged of pure darkness. Your friend Ivan is wielding it now and has no idea that he can destroy worlds with it. And do you know why they trapped Grimguard?
I don't know either.
Because an evil was committed. The very essence of the god of justice, Tyr, his progeny, committed a crime. The corrupt copy of a purely good god walked Grimguard, and it was his crime that swallowed that city. Gabriel is the worst of the bunch. And if you want to free Grimguard truly from the mists, assuming you defeat me tonight, he'll have to die. But he can't die willing. So I suspect you shouldn't tell him this.
I don't know if I'm gonna tell anybody anything. Because I know you twist things.
Went to the board.
Yeah, there's a great game that we're all playing here. And it's to figure out what the truth is. And like you said long ago, Cass and Vecna played this. Vecna, the Laughing God now, plays his games. Strahd plays his games. We all play our games.
He knocks the pieces aside. What's your game? Pedro, what are you doing here? What is the point? Why are you my enemy? What have I done to harm you?
Well, that's the thing, is that at face value, you haven't. You did welcome me when I showed up here.
I gave you
Randomly,
home.
you gave me a cabin. But then, there's always that thought in the back of your head. It's, why do you give freely? You have this immense power that you wield in this valley and over this world. And the things that you've done with it, a lot of it is affront to nature. The Gulf Highest tree is now gone.
Yes.
I'm sure
Thank
you're
you for
aware of that.
I am.
But whether it was here before you or after you, I don't know. But I do see what you've done in my few days here. The people you've put on pikes. The pain you've caused. The blatant disregard for life. And in all my time, the one thing I've always supported is life.
I suppose it's not enough to protect your people. I didn't do this to Barovia. It was done to Barovia. None of this is my fault. I was tricked.
We've heard that a lot, but there comes a time when you have to take ownership and responsibility.
You don't speak to me as if I'm a child.
I do not. I know you're not a child. You've been around forever. But there's always life lessons we can learn no matter how long we've been around.
He stands up. Oh, it's time for the feast. Right this way. And as he points and you turn, you're right back in the castle.
I look back at him and I go, good, I'm hungry.
Me too.
And then with that, I walk out.
So the two of you trying to talk, the masquerade continues to get in the way. Get pulled away, pulled back in. Eventually, the bell chimes for the feast. Everybody starts shuffling that way. You do finally get a chance to see Marius as you're guided to your table. You, Marius, Bedroke, Ivan, you're seated at a table. So is the Night Master.
Are we separated then?
No, you're all at the same table.
At the table.
Yeah.
Together.
Okay.
One more spot at that table. Strahd sits down. There are tables throughout this banquet hall. Groups of people laughing, food is being served. Strahd sits in his chair. He holds a goblet in his hand, leans back, looks at all of you. You were missing one. Where's the girl? I invited her. Swirls it around a little bit. Dips a finger.
It's red.
Well, she is of her own time. I'm assuming she'll arrive when she means to.
I look at Strahd. I honestly don't know.
Last time. Well, thank you for coming. Marius, you look like you had something to say.
Thank you for a wonderful feast.
Ah, of course. It's my honor to have you here. Esteemed, each of you. Undefeated in the pits, Ivan. Undefeated. Do you know how many times I tried to watch your ribcage ripped open? How many monsters I sent just to see what you'd look like inside out? But you won. In 900 years, nobody fought as well as you did. And the funny thing, he's circling the edge of his wine glass. The funny thing is that you're the only one that fought for someone else. Everybody else either fought to survive or money. You fought for your family. Bedrock, they know you were a soldier.
Aye.
Did you tell them you were the general?
Nah.
Why?
It didn't really seem to matter here. They have their, for lack of a better term, quests.
That mask suits you.
I don't think it does.
Why is that?
I'm better looking.
Quite handy with the jokes.
I'd give a clap, but I'd find myself at a disadvantage.
I can make that a truthful statement.
But then you would harm me.
No, you're understand.
Never. I would never get to be able to do such things if I had missed a hand.
You know, you're the only one at this table that hasn't earned a name for themselves. You were born into that greatness. Marius. But do you know where the spirits came from? The voices.
They've always been there. Since I was young.
They're quiet around me.
They seem unwilling to be in your presence.
Perhaps, or maybe they don't seek out vengeance because everyone I have killed deserved it. What was that, Ivan?
Oh, sorry, I should have been clearer. Fuck you.
Careful, Ivan.
What have I done to offend?
Just keep eating my mud. Smiling.
Yeah, the food is amazing, by the way. Steaks, berries, beautiful salad. Your plates were all served from your home. You are eating your mother's cooking right now.
And that's a shit plate.
So
You're staring at your mother's cooking.
Yeah.
in our heads, I will go to Ivan. Don't take offense, but you need to calm yourself. And then out loud to Strahd, I'll say, forgive the boy. He's a commoner and a ruffian.
Yes.
He doesn't know how to be civil.
I know, I do a charity having him at the table.
And
I,
we are
when you guys were
honored.
saying that, I say in my head too, Ivan's like, hey, this is part of the game.
We're honored to be at your table of honor.
Yes.
Aren't we?
Oh, sorry, I was waiting for the right time to speak. I didn't want to speak out of turn. It is an astounding pleasure to be at this table enjoying this fine food. And to have you in the presence.
The pleasure is all mine.
Ivan, in our heads. We're going to tear him apart. play the game, and we'll watch his blood spill.
I'm not breaking eye contact with Shrod.
He looks away, but always glances back at you. Every time he sees you still staring, he smirks.
But while this is all going on, I'm still in the head. Like Soren.
Oh, is he?
Where are you?
Are you at the table?
No.
No.
Yeah,
No.
but
Yeah,
I'm
Remember, he
Here's
disappeared.
the thing,
That's
though.
right. He's off.
He wasn't supposed to be at the table.
He wasn't supposed to be at the table, and there's no
Yeah.
chair at this table. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Well, it's for.
We're missing one.
It's
Oh,
for
there is
Esmeralda.
one chair.
But he's not in the room at all.
No,
It's not for Esmeralda. It's for Selena.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's
I mean,
why I
Strahd
said
knows that he's dipping around somewhere.
Yeah.
Strahd doesn't even
No.
might not even know I'm there.
Strahd, yeah, might not. But yeah, in my head I
Yeah, he's
go,
one of Strahd's knights.
Soren.
No, but he was announced.
Soren, where
It
are
was
you?
announced, but he could be anywhere at the feast.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Strahd knows that he's not there. Like,
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just on the assumption that Strahd knows he's not there.
well, it could
Safe
be.
assumption.
Soren might not be meant to be with us, so he might have a different spot at the tables.
You guys aren't meant to know I'm alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't announced as Soren either.
No.
It was his wraith.
He was.
Yeah, I was right.
I was
Yeah.
announced as the Wraith of Ravenloft.
That's true.
As his Blood Knight title.
Oh, because the announcers are homeboy, right? He's one of our guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it could be one of our guys.
So, what do you think of my castle?
But you
Yeah.
get a response from me
Yeah.
that I'm somewhere in the castle.
All right.
I don't know exactly where I'm at in this moment.
All right. Keep looking.
You don't know I'm looking.
I just
But
know you're looking for something.
I will compliment the decorator. It was well done.
Did you notice the guardian banners?
Of course.
We appreciate the hospitality.
Painstaking efforts. But it was made a lot easier with help. Once at the Night Master. She nods. Of course, Mother. Happy to. Okay, you seem confused.
Just surprised to see a friendly face.
Would you like to explain yourself? She turns. Oh, of course. Here we are an order of redemption. The Lord Strahd came to me, fearing that he would feast on the innocent, begging for redemption. It's our job to do so. And after a large donation to the church, I sent him you and Alexander, as he requested. I didn't know why he wanted the squire, this, no offense, but unpromising recruit. But, nonetheless, he requested you, and so we sent you. Strahd smiles, leans back.
I will say to all of you that if you see Esmeralda, she's not to be trusted.
Oh. I don't like the way the boy is looking at me.
No, it's just, that's normal. He looks at me that way too. Hey, Ivan, look at me.
It's just his face.
See? It's all right.
You know, gladiators. The
Take themselves very seriously.
Gladiator, you know what's funny? You tell me if you've heard of this one. But, when the vampire lord was asked how he felt about killing Katerina, he replied, he's gladiator.
well done, my lord.
Fuck, that was actually
And I literally grab Ivan's leg under the table and like say to him, just relax. Just relax.
Not amused?
It seems in poor taste.
As the Lord says.
No, the taste was decadent.
Oh, I smashed the shit out of the plate against the wall.
Yeah, you just throw it across the room into
Yeah.
the wall. Slam! Bunch of the guards go to draw their weapons. He puts his hand up. Well, I suppose this does bring us to the crux of the moment.
By the way, does the Knight Commander do anything when he says he ate her?
No.
She's like
She's
totally
yeah,
in
she's
source.
bought in. She's
Yeah.
she's.
I just wanted to see something.
He looks over. Gabriel, why are you here? The only one I can trust to be honest in the moment.
To find your final redemption.
Well said. He looks over at Bedrock and mimes like he's moving a chess piece. Motions over at Gabriel. Now to you, Marius. Why are you here?
Well, if you'll permit me, I'll make a toast to the room.
Sure.
So
One of the servants walks forward and grabs wine from the center and pours it into everybody's cup but Strahd. Strahd puts his hand up and says, I don't drink wine.
Right. So I stand up.
He has blood.
I knock on the table to get everyone's attention. Everyone, a toast to our generous host.
He just suddenly sits up. He looks kind of confused. Wait. Apologies. Someone has just stolen something from me. But all of you are sitting here. Where is the woman?
We haven't
We have
heard
no
from
idea.
her.
We haven't even seen her.
I expected you to be honest, Gabriel.
She vanished the day I got here.
The last time you said I wasn't being honest, I teleported touching a giant hag's eye. I have not lied to you, no matter what you say. I've always been truthful.
Enough talk. He just kind of tosses his drink to the ground. It shatters. The blood just pools right there. I'm just sick of the games. Bedrock, you're right. It's tiring. It's exhausting. Here. Everyone in this room drank of a very special vintage tonight. Everyone except for you four. Everyone was so focused on him, you start to look around the room. Everybody is laying on their table already face first.
Oh yeah, already
All
out.
of them.
Already out.
All of them. Blood pooling out of their mouths onto the place settings. He puts his hands out.
Including the Nightmaster? So she's plopped on a table?
She just
Yeah,
dropped.
she's just laying there.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Is it?
Yeah.
She's not a paladin.
That was my oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's a valid point. Yeah, good riddance.
So her hands,
Good riddance.
or his hands, out like this. Marius, the toast will have to wait. It's almost midnight. And he raises his hands like this, and every single person just lurches up. The Nightmaster grabs her sword, puts it on the table. There's probably 200 people in this room. They all just look up at you, and he takes a step back towards the shadows. We're going to play a more straightforward game. Survive.
Strahd? I challenge you to a duel at the strike of midnight. I drop the glass. I will finish, and I draw the sword, which your brother could not. I flourish it in the place where you buried him.
How dare you? He turns to walk away and he stops, looks back at you.
You wouldn't dishonor yourself by refusing, would you?
I will not. But then again, there is still time. I'm glad I'm not mortal. I'm tired of the games, you're right, Pedroke. This all does need to end. Marius, If you can survive, you'll find me there. My guests are not very happy with you. Takes another step back, looks at the group again. I used to miss being a man. But what is a man if not a miserable pile of secrets? And then he just disappears into the shadow. Each of these creatures turns, these undead beings, twisted, kind of broken, like they died heaving. And they begin to step forward.
I'm gonna reach up and grab the medallion of Ravenkind.
And that's what alongside this episode.
Perfect.
Ooh, snap. You got yourself a duel.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So next week we're gonna get here a little early. We've got a lot of ground to cover.
Yep.
So pretty long combat. So read through your character sheets. Be ready for that kind of stuff. It's gonna be pretty brutal. Medallion. All right, Marius. No, not Marius.
No.
Soren.
He took it from me.
Who gets the medallion?
Well, the fucking idiot that's gonna fucking duel him.
Good call.
Yep.
Not a bad call.
No,
Not a bad call at all.
Prior to dueling him, it was gonna be Ivan.
That's fair too.
No.
That's fair too. Y'all did fantastic.
Because I imagine Ivan is probably gonna be in Strahd's face a lot.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. Real quick. I need to get this off my chest.
Uh-huh.
Real quick. Fuck you.
Oh,
Fuck
fine.
you so hard with the biggest object you own.
Hey, bud.
All right?
I know you don't. I know your character
I
doesn't.
second that
I know your
because
character doesn't know this yet, but your wife totally got murdered.
Bro, Gabriel's about to go through some shit.
I second that.
Yeah.
That fucking yourself with the biggest object
she
you can
got-
find.
she got cut up
because
with a
Soren's
knife.
had
I know, I
one love
heard.
interest
Butcher.
and you turned
Oh, I heard.
her
Yeah.
against him.
There was glaring. I glared.
So-
I have been glaring at this man for a solid 4 hours.
Both of you have been.
Honestly, like, he keeps trying to talk to me and I'm like, must not be angry. Ah!
Some fun moments tonight. Your chess match was really fun.
Yeah.
Great conversation. I love that.
Yeah.
Ivan, I don't think you could have played that any differently.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, that was perfect. Every step.
I almost
Restrained,
I almost blurted
movement.
out in some cultures that the throwing of plates and cutlery is accepted.
That's so funny.
You should have. It would have been fucking
That's
hilarious.
so funny.
You make it real hard, man. When
I
you,
know,
you hit
man.
that gladiator joke, it's like I wouldn't just sit there and be like, okay, yeah.
What I was worried about is that you might find it funny.
I did.
stop.
I did.
Paulo goes,
The best part, you could have went this.
It was actually
It
really
was a
good.
joke,
I was like,
it genuinely pissed me off too. 'Cause I was like, you.
why would you say
piece
that?
of shit. Yeah, because then I figured
did you
out.
come up with that on the spot?
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm gonna say that.
Glad he ate
You know what's
her.
really funny is as soon as you said you want to hear a good gladiator joke, I was like, gladiator? I barely know her.
I should have just went. I've heard this one before.
That's the first time it's really worked. You're gladiator.
Yeah.
Get
well,
it?
Yeah, dude.
Get it?
Especially in that little always scene
Get
where
it?
he lost
Get
a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that for later.
Yeah.
You should.
Because he snapped.
Yeah, he didn't know when he saw it.
Yeah.
you know.
Cunnilingus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
What?
good.
No, he actually,
Gladiator.
a little peek behind the
Barely know
curtain.
her.
He tried to give
Cunnilingus.
each of you he didn't do it on
Cunnilingus.
purpose, but there was a
Yeah.
hint of his
really know
weakness
it.
to each of you, just the way he interacted, what he found important, things like that. So
And I realized mine was probably the way he reacted to the soul. He was scared of that.
he didn't
Oh, yeah.
like seeing that.
Yeah, whatever it was that he saw, he didn't like seeing that.
Maybe
Did he?
Maybe he doesn't think it's actually.
Can you
so-
tell me what the
Yeah, 'cause-
spell was now?
Oh, yeah, he didn't interact with me.
Yeah.
He did. He touched his soul for a brief moment there.
Because
You
I
know
want to
what
know.
the soul or what the spell was.
I want to know what the fucking
what-
DC 20
what-
fucking
oh,
save
yeah,
was.
for
What
real.
I was trying to do. Yeah.
You banish a creature that you can see within range into a labyrinthine demiplane.
Jesus
The
Christ.
target remains there for the duration of the spell
Wow.
or until it escapes.
Wow.
What's the duration? 1 hour?
8 hours.
8 hours.
The
if-
lifetime
if
of whoever
it's-
cast it.
If it's
10 years.
yeah.
10 years.
Wow.
She tried to banish me?
Yes.
When the spell ends, the target will reappear in the space it left, or if that space is occupied in the nearest unoccupied space.
Why she panic at you though?
She tried to banish me. Well, because she realized I'm not his puppet.
Wouldn't she like that?
No, she
No,
said.
she's on his side.
she's
I've
on his
always
side.
been on his side.
Yeah, she's Strahd.
She said from the start,
Which
I
is a
was
real
always
key
on
bit
his
of
side.
information.
Yeah,
How is Strahd getting around to all these different worlds?
she's a Mistwalker.
Oh, that fucking bitch.
Yeah,
shit.
she's a Mistwalker.
That's why she was important.
Mm-hmm.
She'll probably tell Strahd then.
He was playing
Well,
both sides like a smart
she
man.
did.
Concaved her chest.
Who,
She
Von
might-
Richten?
Oh, she's
Von
dead.
Richten,
She's.
That's
I
why she
should
was
say
important.
she's very likely dead.
Yeah, she's like.
I put
Von's
my
not
hand-
powerful though, couldn't she
Von
just, like-
Richten
I
played
put my
that.
hand
He
through her
played-
she's
he was
very
playing
human.
fucking chess.
I forgot. Yeah, she
Remember, he told
I-
you at the very beginning all he wanted to do
I
was get in that
asked
castle. All
him
he wanted to do was fight
specifics
Strahd. That's all he
that
cares
Zorn
about.
would
He
be able
didn't care
to
who
tap
they
on her
were.
as a
He played the shit out of
vampire.
you for that.
She's human.
Well, that's fine. Well,
and I
he
definitely
didn't play
put
us
my
'cause we
hand
knew the
in her
truth.
chest.
Kind of, yeah.
he still put us in a decent position.
Even though she teleported, she might
Yeah.
be dead.
Yeah, no, Esmeralda's hurting, at least. Bad. He
That
he
was
concaved-
also another spell. It's a contingency spell. Some higher level wizards will have the ability to create a trigger. If this happens, this spell is cast.
So if she's about to die.
It's like a,
Yeah, so if she's about to die, she's immediately teleported to a space she's
like a
designated.
dead
to
man's
save.
trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Some wizards use it that way.
That's
Some
dope.
wizards use
Oh,
it as
some-
Way to go!
yeah,
I
Oh,
explode
holy
into a nuke.
fuck!
What?
I know how powerful that spell is.
It's a level
She's a-
10.
Maze is a level 8 spell.
It's level 8.
Level 9 is the highest. This
Yeah,
Oh,
level
that's
10
right,
is
okay.
considered
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, they
so-
do exist though.
But no,
Yeah,
she's
sorta.
like at least
Sorta.
They do in
She's
Dell.
level
She's at
16.
least level
They don't exist for players.
She's a
They
very,
exist for
very
players.
strong
very
individual.
powerful.
She's a strong wizard.
She's at least an 18th level? For
To
level?
get 8th, no, 16th.
16th level.
You
for
get your
eighth
first
level
8th level at
spells.
16th.
Yeah, she's at least 16.
You get your first 9th level at 18th.
Yeah. So
I like me wizards.
You played that nice too. Yeah, the whole masquerade scene.
It's very fun, actually. A lot of fun.
That's really cool though. That like even as a wizard, she probably has much more health than I could deal in a single blow. But to like cinematically try to kill her there was cool.
I mean, wizards don't have a whole lot of health.
They don't. Even
No,
at high
but
level.
knowing how much damage you can do in a single turn, if every attack hits, you could actually one round a wizard.
That's not super.
High level
Wizards are fucking
Yeah.
squishy,
Yeah.
but I mean they're squishy because they can
How
one health
dare
you as a
I wanted to
barbarian.
cast my spell so bad. You said it.
Y'all brought your weapons, right? Like,
Yes.
Turn it
Everything is
I don't have
really-
weapons.
I was going to turn
I got these hands, dog.
Yeah.
I figured
that's
as much.
fine.
And he's
They're
got-
ready to
That's
eat.
what I
got
will
his
be able to
armor.
remember.
I got
everything.
stupid
I have
strength.
everything with me.
okay.
Yeah, do I am I getting a bonus to my AC for wearing my Blood Knight armor? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Just looks cool.
I didn't think
It
so,
looks
so
fancy
I
and
didn't bother
scary.
changing
It
anything.
was just a disguise for you.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Still
We ran
is.
late. That's it. So we'll see you next week. We're gonna
All
start a little
right.
early.
We're not
Bye,
super
everybody.
late.
Bye. 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 Bye.